Let's give it another minute or two, see if anyone shows up. Alright, I guess we should get going. Oh yeah, we were helping this guy out. Well, he needed wood, so we might as well deal with the ghost wood thing first. Oh. I see this is a ghost town in more ways than one. Huh. All the buildings in this little town are weirdly hazy and translucent, like, oh, ghosts. It's a literal ghost town. See what I mean? Alright, fair enough. You might expect to be able to just walk straight through the door of a ghost building, but some kind of force is preventing that. I guess you could knock on the force? Excuse me a moment. Your fist makes a distant, echoey clap sound on the barroom door, and a ghostly voice comes out of nowhere. Howdy there, fella. New in town? Yeah, I was wondering if... Sorry, I can't do business with you until you have a visitor identification card. I ain't supposed to even talk to you, really. Okay, where do I get one? Try the town hall down the end of the street. Thanks. Somebody's mounted a pencil sharpener on one of the balcony posts for some reason. And I don't have any pencils to sharpen. Not sure if you could lead a ghost horse to this, even if you wanted to. This looks to be the ghost of the town hall. Looks just like a regular town hall, except, you know, the whole ghost thing. Let's knock on it. This makes a difference. Ah, visitor. You'll be needing a visitor identification card. I guess so? I'll be happy to help fill in the forms. Most living people have trouble holding the pages. You'll be needing a number 3 pencil. If you're filling in the form, can't you just use your own pencil? I will be, but the instructions say very clearly that the applicant must have a number 3 pencil. Number 3 pencil? Isn't number 2 pencil the usual kind? I suppose, but a number 3 pencil is 50% more official. Okay. Where can I get one? Try the Department of Requisitions. It's just next door. You mean the general store? It's a little more specific these days, but yes. Ow. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm noticing it says office supply. Does this make it an office depot? Ghostly General Store seems to be selling mostly office supplies. Ghost office supplies. Hello, excuse me, I need a... Sorry, can't help you unless you have a visitor ID. But I need a pencil for it. No visitor ID, no supplies. Ah, bureaucracy. So, can I, like, report this right to Town Hall? Hello? General store won't give me a pencil without a visitor ID. No, certainly not. They aren't authorized to deal with anyone who doesn't have ID. So am I supposed to get a number 3 pencil? I suppose I could issue you a temporary visitor permit. You don't need a pencil for that one. Okay, this is... Let's turn this down a bit. It's getting kind of loud. Okay, great. What's your last name? First name? Middle name? I'm just going to say Trouble because it amuses me. Great, we're going. Unless I'm staying in dirt water in the moment. Oh. Well, if you set your sights low enough, you'll never be disappointed. Alright. How many bars are in the window of the Department of Records? What? It's a quest to make sure you've actually been paying attention to and care about a little town instead of just breezing through to show your dedication. 6? Correct. Alright, everything seems to be in order. Here's your temporary visitor pass. This is just a temporary permit card while you apply for an actual visitor's ID card. It has Larry Trouble Scott written on it and has probably already expired. Thanks. It expires in 11 seconds, which means in the time it took me to read all that, it's probably expired. Do ghost cacti still hurt? Well, this is a regular cactus. Well, the ghost of a regular cactus. Well, the ghost of a regular cactus with the ghost of a pencil stabbed into it. We'll take that. Here's this. Snag the pencil with the corner of your temporary visitor permit and yank it with a cactus. Nice! Oh, wait, it's a number 4 pencil. Oh, what? You don't know pencils have ghosts? What do you think ghost writers use? I'm loving this game's sense of humor. You know what? Because I suspect I'll need to eventually. Let's just sharpen this now. You stick the number 4 pencil in the sharpener and grind off about 1/4 of it. Excuse me. Ah, hello. How can I help you, Mr. Scott? I need a number 3 pencil. No problem. We'll just fill out a requisition form. Okay. Name Scott. But... So, like, do I have to speedrun this? Oh, wait, right? Number 3 pencil, here it is. That's a number 4 pencil. No, it's a 75% of a 4 pencil, which would be 3. I see. I don't see anything about this in the bylaws. Very well, I suppose it will do. Let's get you started on the visitor identification permit. Thank God. Last name, Scott. Larry. Trouble. Well, Scott, yep, that matches what it says here. Good. Where are you from? Dirt water. If you ever decide to set your sights a little higher, I can recommend a good drainage ditch. Okay, last question. How many bars are in the windows of the Department of Records? I said 6. I'm afraid you have to be a little more reserved than that. Damn it. Wait, if I gotta brute force this. Okay, so it's 10. All right, everything seems to be in order. Allow me to officially welcome you to the town of Ghostwood. Here's your visitor ID. Thank you. Say, was it always called Ghostwood or... Yes, total coincidence. This is the identification card for the town of Ghostwood. It says Larry Trouble Scott on it and has a blurry photograph that could maybe be you if you squint. Hello, something I can get for you, Mr. Scott? I'm here on behalf of the mayor of Brentwood. He needs a permit. Do some logging in this area. Oh, this is the Department of Requisitions. You had administration. That's next door. That's the jail, isn't it? The ghostly jailhouse seems to be stacked up with boxes of old papers. You don't see any ghost criminals, but usually there isn't anything longer than a life sentence anyway. Scott, was it? What can I do for you? I'm here on behalf of Mayor Brentwood. He needs a permit to do some logging in this area. You'll need to visit the Department of Administration for that. It's down at the end of the street. Is this what killed everyone here? Gee, hello, Mr. Scott. How can we get service? Jeez, finally. I'm here on behalf of the Mayor of Brentwood, and here comes the twist. I see. Well, that shouldn't be a problem. I just need to review the logging records to make sure that there are no disqualifying incidents. Go to the Department of Records. It's 2 doors down. Tell them I need the Brentwood files pertaining to logging. Is something wrong? Not yet. I'm just stealing myself in anticipation. I'm supposed to pick up a file on the town of Brentwood. Oh, you want the Department of Records? It's next door. It's the Adjunct Department of Records. Okay, thanks. You peer through the wall of the stable. Instead of ghost horses, you see a lot of ghost filing cabinets. Department of Records, how can I help you, Mr. Scott? I'm supposed to pick up a file on the town of Brentwood. One, please. Brentwood, Applewood, Antewood, Badwood. Did you mean Baglewood? No, it's Brentwood. Must be a suburb. Beaverwood, Bestwood, Bitterwood, Bloodwood. Ah, here we are, Brentwood. Which section did you need? Logging records. That section has been downgraded from this use. You need to pick it up from the Junk Department of Records next door. Naturally. Bring it back here when you got it, and I'll put in an official inter-department document transfer folder for you. Is that really necessary? Absolutely. Can't transfer documents between departments without an interdepartment document transfer folder. It's unthinkable. Fine, fine. Department of Records sent me here to pick up a file. Great, which file? Logging reports of the town of Redwood. All right, 1 second. Here we are. But what's wrong? Well, these pages are all loose. I can't give them to you like this. What if they blow away? I'm just taking them next door. They're giving me the documents folder. It'll be fine. Oh no, what if there's a freak gust of wind as soon as you leave here? It would be chaos. So what do you propose? Well, fortunately, I happen to be the one person town officially authorized to use a stapler. So you'll staple them together for me? I'll be glad to, but I don't have a stapler. Of course you don't. Don't worry, all you have to do is go to the Department of Requisitions next door and requisition one. So I'll bring you a stapler and you'll give me the file? Yep. Fine. I need to requisition a stapler. Alright, first we'll need to fill out a requisition form. I figured. Last name... Here, does that preference cake or pie? I'm just gonna say it's cake. Ugh. Well, despite that, everything seems to be in order. I'll get this filled. Here's your stapler. Great, thanks. So I think it goes back to the jail. Okay, I got you a stapler. Great. There's nothing better than that new stapler smell. Can I have the logging report now? You bet. Here we go. Freshly stapled and wind resistant. This is a report on Breadwood's past logging activities. Now you just have to pick up the folder you're supposed to carry it in. Okay, I'm back with those papers. Alright, let me just put those in an official interdepartment document transfer folder for you. There you are. This is a report. Okay. Great, thank you. I should be able to go all the way back here, I think. Okay, I got that file for you. Redwood logging records? Fine, let's have a look. Oh, for the love of... What's wrong? The idiot stapled the pages together right in the middle. What? This is why we took his damn stapler away in the first place. The file is unreadable. You're going to have to take it back and tell him to unstaple it. I just want to note, on record, this quest is slowly driving me mad. Or is that, I know this was the stables, I think. Records? No, not this one. Let's go. Administration wants you to unstaple these papers. Oh, sorry. I'm only authorized for stapling, not unstapling. Try next door at the Department of Records. I think they have an unstapler there. What? You know what? I think I saw that movie. I can't recall it, though. Sadly, I tell you the title, but I think I saw at least the scene you're thinking of. I need some papers unstapled. Okay, I'm a fully authorized unstapler, so that's no problem. Spoke too soon, did you? Well, it's just that I don't see the staple remover anywhere. Oh, that's right. The Department of Libations has it. To open beer bottles. That'd be the saloon, the one place I haven't been yet. Do you... I need a drink immediately. We'll do that last. Do you have the Department of Records stapler remover? Sure do. That thing pops the tops off beer bottles like you would believe. So long as it removes staples, I'll be happy. I imagine it does, but I'm afraid I'm not authorized for unstapling. You'll have to take it back over to Records. Here you are. The ghost of a staple remover still looks like a weird metal-fanged monster mouth, except now it's ghost form. Now your office job is even spookier. I think it's staples. Here's your stapler remover back. Also, I'm surprised I never got to tell anyone I believe you have my stapler yet. Great, let's just have a look at those papers of yours. Adjunct records up to his old tricks again, I see. Doesn't even need to be stapled. That's what the interdepartment document transfer folder is for. Alright, there you go. Thank you. If I get told they need to staple, I'd scream, but I don't want to freak out anyone else in the house. Alright, I'm back with the unstapled Breadwood logging file. Alright, let's have a look. Okay, I can't see any problems with this. I'm frankly amazed. Let's get started on paperwork for that logging permit. I am no longer amazed. Last name. First name. Trouble. Let me check that against your visitor identification. Larry Trouble Scott. Okay, it's fine. I just need to stamp this here and sign it here. And now you sign it here. And also here. An initial here. And here. And sign here. This is like some of my doctor's office visits. Good, now just take this back to the mayor of Breadwood and let him sign on the line here. And initial over here. You need to get this to Mayor of Breadwood to sign for these, or his logging permit. Are you kidding me? I don't know how to do that. Ugh. I need a drink immediately. Beer or whiskey, beer. Alright, gotta take your name down for the requisition strip. Yep, that's fine. Let me match against your visitor ID. Yep, that'll be fine. That'll be 100 free meat, including deposit of the bottle. Oh, sorry. I have anything to open the bottle with. I don't think you'll be able to do it yourself. I usually use the Department of Records staple remover. Could you borrow it for me? Fine. I have actively made things worse for myself. Oh, God. The Department of Libations need to borrow your stapler remover. Alright, I know conventionally saw it since we took it, our stapler away anyway. Thanks. Knock, knock. I need a drink immediately. Beer. Ugh. Oops. No, wait, I'm doing it right. Here I've got the Department of Records stapler. Great. Do you know the inventor of these things wanted to call them office chompers? Ridiculous, right? Anyway, that'll be 100 for me, including the deposit on the bottle. I'll buy it. Yeah, okay, 5 on all your stats across the board is pretty good. It's clear, it isn't clear if this is beer that died or if the ghost made it pre-dead. One thing's for sure, it's bound to be even less filling than light beer. Ooh, it's cold. We're just drinking that right now. You drink the beer and the bottle fades from view. There goes your deposit. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. We also have a couple other things to do. Origin? Origin. What the heck? It says beer hose. You're not really sure what purpose it might have served. This fellow's too scared to talk to you. He's just totally freaked out about yeast. Where's my cursor? Is this a yeast beast? Is that the joke? You know, what happens if I sample the contents? Almost pure ethanol. Where? The dead guy... Okay, the dead guy's hat got knocked off and covered with yeast. This is a great hat to wear if you and your loved ones absolutely love the smell of dough. Or you don't mind it and your enemies hate it, I guess. Some kind of crazy yeast monster has apparently broken loose from the vats and eaten some of the bandits. I guess they brewed up something they couldn't put down. They could barely control it. Ow. You'll have to hop all to it if you want to prevail here. Yeah, I'm going to do the 2 other... Thank you. I'm going to do the 2 other things and then I can hand everything in all at once. Where is it? Beef up. And now we beat the tar out of him. Names of the horrible yeast beast. Hey, I said it first. I guess you could take some back to the mayor. That's probably still good, right? Sure. Half a ton of the stuff. This bag contains half a ton of yeast, but it's light enough for you to carry because it's dried. So this whole yeast theft biz doesn't seem to have gone well for you guys. Yeah, no, oh, geez, are you a bounty hunter? Relax, the mayor just wants his yeast back. He didn't say anything about hauling you in. Whew, okay, well, the yeast is in that revolting pile. So what happened here? Well, we got bored of bread is all. I know a bit about brewing, and we figured if we came back with a couple kegs, nobody would mind so much that we stole the yeast. No offense, but it seems like you aren't much of a brewer. Hey. Well, ideally, you wouldn't end up with a ravenous yeast monster. That wasn't me. Okay, well, I guess it was my fault. But I understand what happened. The vats are old, and we didn't clean them properly. First, because we were in a hurry. I think there were some frogs living in one of them. And you figured you could use the extra hops. Ha ha! If you think you got it figured out, you could set up shop in Dirtwater. Oh, yeah, it's turning into quite the little metropolis. I'd love to have my own place. Okay, I'll go check it out. Take your leave. Huh, 3 cans of beer. We'll have them. Now he's too grumpy to talk to you. He's just angrily muttering about yeast. You're under arrest for what? Stealing about 2 handfuls of yeast? Yes. Since for that is, what, about 3 days in jail? And Birdwood does not actually have a jail? Alright, I'll let you off with a warning this time. There's also something about the Baker boys. No trading right now. The teenagers seem dispirited, and are trying to drown their sorrows with big mugs of water. Maybe they misunderstood the idiom. Hey, you boys wouldn't know about some bread that went missing, would you? Oh, nuts. I told you you'd get in trouble, Billy. Shut up, Jerry. We've got... Way to just blab everything, dude. Calm down, you two. The mayor just wants his bread back. Hand it over and the trouble you're in will be minimal. Ain't that simple, mister. We sold the bread for meat to start up this bakery. Why? Because we want to make something of our lives. Everyone in Brentwood is just bums. Plus, like, everyone needs bread, right? So we figured we'd make it big. Okay, well, no problem. We take the mayor of the bread you've made and call it even. Oh yeah, no problem, except for the fact that we don't know a dang thing about making bread. Turns out all we end up with is weird lumps. True, Billy, the last loaf we tried was almost right. Yeah, sure, though that one was nearly edible, but we're practically out of ingredients. Maybe I can help. The fact that I have unlimited bones somehow is useful here. I have to see where this goes. I know where you can get an unlimited supply of bones, but we can't make bread out of bones. Gross. No. See, you could grind it into bone meal. It's powerful fertilizer. You could use it to grow more wheat. Oh. We have maybe a handful of wheat grains left. That'll take forever, though. There's been some magic going on in that area. I think these bones will make extremely effective fertilizer. It's worth a shot, I guess. What could go wrong? Okay, I'll draw you a map. The Baker boys sneak out to the buffalo pile and collect a load of bones, which do indeed turn out to make bizarrely effective fertilizer. As in, you can literally watch the wheat growing. It's like Minecraft crap here. The grain seems fine though, and after a couple tries, the boys hit on a decent bread recipe, and bake enough to cover what they stole from the mayor. All's well that ends well. Oh, let's get our bakery started. Don't mention it. Okay, these guys don't go to... Wait, I want to check the shelves and stuff. Or the staff away. Alright, let's go hand this stuff in, and I think there's another quest or two I gotta deal with. We'll get to those in a moment. Oops. Okay, I guess I'm doing it now. Stuff. The thing looks pretty tough and pretty attentive. Machine is not switched on, but it has an empty coffee cup in it. It's dark and silent. So whatever's supposed to happen here, I guess not yet. Okay, let's go where we were supposed to. Yeah, if I can remember where he is, we can go check that next. Let's hand stuff in. Excuse me, Mayor, I have some papers you need to sign for that logging permit. Oh, right. All right. Oh, ghost paper. Stuff is weird. Yeah, I think I need a ghost pencil for this. Loan him your pencil. You can borrow mine. Sit down here and initial over here. After some fumbling with the ghostly pencil, the mayor eventually manages to sign and initial the form. All right, Mayor, I'll be back with the permits. God willing. Good luck. Can we hand in the other stuff? Oh. He had my pencil. Thank you. We're not done yet. Any luck recovering the yeast from Vance's old schmaltz brewery? Yep. Well done. Happy to help. Did you get her bread back from those miserable baker boys? I sure did. Thank goodness for that. Another missed payday would have caused a riot for sure. Glad we avoided that. Managed to get that logging permit yet? Not yet. Bring back the soup. The soup I can't do yet. Any signs of the missing mail? I forgot where the mail was. There's a goblin standing off to one side of the trail, just staring up at the sky. They don't seem to notice you approaching. Hello? Goblin jumps a little bit in surprise and greets you, presumably, since you can't understand what they're saying. They seem pretty distracted by whatever they're doing, though, and soon just staring up at the sky again. Look up, but don't see anything noteworthy. You get the goblin's attention again, try to ask what it's doing, with gestures and shrugs and exaggerated, confused expression. Points emphatically up at the sky and does a little dance with lots of smiling and its arms making a big circle. Moon? It's way too early. The moons won't be out for hours. Goblin hands you some pebbles with a grin and goes back to staring upwards. Thanks? Yeah, postal way station. We'll check in a bit. Hi, I'm here to make my life worse. Okay, I've got the mayor's signature on the logging permit form. Great, just sign the last line at the bottom where it says receipt. Sign. Alright, then that's everything taken care of. Redwood's logging permit is hereby approved. Finally. Wonderful. Processing will take about 48 hours. What? Well, everything has to be filed and the actual permit has to be printed and so on. You can pick it up in 2 days. Well, let me check something real quick, because I'm curious. So I have to go sleep twice. The weird thing is, I know there's an achievement for beating the game in 1 day. Which is not, you know, by what the game considers days. Not actual real life days. Anyway. Okay, postal way station. I must have at least started this part of the quest. Trespass. Work well how they had to change the name of Boot Hill Cemetery to Reboot Hill Cemetery because all the skeletons in there are coming back to life. It's full of maps, we have no idea what any of them mean. Ask about post office and Dirtwater. Okay. So it looks like we want to go back to Dirtwater. The professor is probably the other place we want to go, but first... let's fight this. Yeah, go ahead. That's probably the 1 day thing, but at this point I think I'm just going to wait the 2 days because I am this far in. I've already passed a day, so the beat in 1 day achievement is out of the question. You dream that you're singing old songs about death and a kind of... oh, weirdly, you meet someone who looks exactly like an angry bear, but isn't. You wake up drenched in sweat. Okay, then. I also realize this means I blew that beer I got earlier, but whatever. You dream you're singing old songs about death while fleeing from a tiger. After that, you get in a fist fight with the president. You wake up screaming. Well, okay, then. So, Miss Bill didn't expect to see you around these parts. Like, I'll admit I got a little envious when I saw you leave Boring Springs and figured I'd hitch a ride out west to see what I could see. Let's look at the place. So much hustle, so much bustle. Sure is a lot of both these days. Hey, nice pot. Thank you kindly. So what's new? Well, to be honest, what's new is a profound sense of longing and loneliness. Sorry to hear that, Bill. Well, it is what it is. I was hoping I'd run across a similarly lonely cactus lady somewhere out here, or failing that, a normal human lady looking to marry a cactus. No luck? Not yet. Of course, getting around is a bit of a challenge, but as cactuses live a long time, I'm sure I'll meet somebody someday. I'll keep an eye out. Heck, sure would appreciate it. Need help tracking down some missing mail? How do you mean? Mail delivery went missing on the way to Breadwood, and I'm hunting on behalf of their mayor. The local mail station has a bunch of route maps, but I don't know which one I need. Well, information ain't exactly secret, but I ain't supposed to just give it out either. Delivery going missing is bad news, though. I suppose it's alright just this once. Wait here a sec. Thanks. After a couple minutes, she comes back with a sheet of notepaper. Okay, so each map has a code number on it. See? Based on region and direction of travel. She explains how to work out the code you need and gives you a cheat sheet for reference. Thank her and leave. Professor's house is closest, so we go there first. Oh, right. Off the side of the trail, you notice one of those furry cactuses. It has definitely seen better days. Its prongs are limp, its hairy coating is disheveled. Let's spruce it up. You comb it here and profit its joints to make it look more attractive and vigorous. Have you got 5 piles of scrap yet? Yeah, I have plenty of those. He ambles over to a strange contraption in the corner of the room and begins to tinker. Great, let me just... Yep, okay, this'll do the trick. Let me just get this running, and then you'll be able to grab a keystone from it. Take another 5 scraps for each one you need. You familiar with the Lost Dutch Oven mine? Grim place, but that's where I found the chassis for that fabricator, wedged behind an unusual pile of rocks. Seems like a good place to start hunting. Alright, I'm on it. See you again. Have you had a chance to get the keystone? Not yet. Okay, I guess I gotta do that first before I do anything else. But I forgot to check how Dirtwater is doing. I also wanna... I've been using some scrap leather from the bootmaker next door to make some more durable casings for my sausages. Interesting. So he has a new form of hot dog. Back, yeah. A guy set up a brewery next door, and I was like, what if you had beer, like, right there to your boots? So, yeah. Interesting. What can I get you? Let's see. He's got beer soaked boots. I am broke as anything right now. Liquid Bread Brewing Company. Let me do the mine first and we'll see about making some keys. Oh hey, it's you. Thanks for telling me about this place instead of arresting me. Or shooting me in the head and then arresting me. No problem. I'm not really a bounty hunter anyway, just looking to help people out. Well, you sure did help me out. Really appreciate the opportunity, and things are going pretty well. Not a single yeast monster yet. What can I get you? Show me your goods. So it's, each one is 1 stat plus 7. Not bad. Alright. Huh. Oh, there it is. See a wagon broken down by the side of the road. Well, if we're being honest, getting attacked by horrible monsters is probably more likely what happened than a simple mechanical failure. You dismount and investigate. Most of the easy pickings have been predictably already picked, easily. But there's still a safe in there that was presumably too heavy for scavengers to move. And we can crack it open. Our money problem's been fixed. And stuff I can forage. Those are some sticky... Not without stench resistance. Huh, I thought I had some of that naturally. Okay, here's some stench resistance. Stench here is barely tolerable. Okay. Lockers aren't labeled and unlocked. You can't wear miner's pants. You can't wear these if you're over 18 feet tall. Because they'd be way too small for you. Miners must have eaten down here to avoid the stench upstairs. Take what's left. Oh hey, another spittoon. I don't know what kind of tobacco these miners are chewing, but it must be extra corrosive because this brass spittoon has a hole eaten through the bottom and dark stains underneath where the spit leaked out. Although oddly, it doesn't seem to be leaking now, and it's half full. I guess the miners plugged the hole with something. Inspecting time. It's a spittoon. It's disgusting. You can practically see the stink lines coming off it. Come on, let's not do this. We inspect the spittoon. Oh, jeez, fine, okay. You crouch down and take a careful look at the filthy spittoon. The inside is blackened with years' worth of stains. The death broth inside has a rainbow sheen like parking lot oil spill, and occasionally a little bubble pops on the surface. You can actually feel a slight warmth radiating off from it from whatever dire chemical reaction is taking place in there. You realize you're holding your breath, not deliberately, but from the human body's natural instinct of self-preservation. And then we inhale. Imagine someone made a big pot of chili con carne and left it under the porch. 3 rats crawl into the pot, eat half the chili, and then die. A week later, a family of cockroaches take up residence among the writhing maggots. The cockroaches smoke big, thick black cigars, which they light with the tufts of burning human hair. That is what it smells like. And then we search it. Fortunately for you, the rainbow-colored film on the surface of the liquid coats your hand as you plunge it into the toxic stew, keeping it from being immediately dissolved down to its bones. The smell intensifies and your stomach prepares to hose the poisons off of your arm with a high-pressure stream of vomit. We keep searching. Your fingers touch something at the bottom of the spittoon. Better pull it out fast while you still have something to pull with. Pull. You pull the world's most disgusting pair of pants out of the spittoon and jump back as the hole at the spittoon's bottom, now unplugged, begins to leak steaming filth. Congratulations, you're now the proud owner of the worst object I've ever been paid to think about, narrowly defeating a leather bondage harness made from the skin of a clown. That's in Kingdom of Loathing, if I'm not mistaken. These pants look and smell like they were used to line the bottom of a leaky spittoon, and there's a very good reason for that. Hooray! Erica says, the elevator mechanism is all rusty. We have that. The elevator, write it down. You emerge from the elevator into a deeper shaft. By the light of your lantern, you see exposed meat veins on nearly every surface. And it's unusual that there would be this much readily available meat left in a working mine. What were they digging for if not this? Fortunately, I have a pickaxe, so again, meat problem solved. You vibing, dude? This guy is totally out of it. He's gibbering and drooling and doesn't seem to even notice you. Let's try to talk to him. Oh, huh. You wave your hand in front of his face, but he doesn't react at all. Shovel dulled to uselessness. And pickaxe. What was one of the miners digging with his helmet? Looks like a miner died trying to dig deeper with their hands. An ominous ladder leading down into a deep, dark pit. Gem is pretty, but it smells terrible. Very valuable, though. Finger bones are all splintered. You start to feel very uneasy. This guy seems to have gnawed off his own hands before he died. The hair on the back of your neck stands up. The scratches are just painted on. In blood. Your heart is pounding. This guy worked his fingers to the bone digging, and then he worked his bones to the marrow. You have to get out of this pit right now. Gouge marks are dark with blood, so you have to get out of this pit right now. As you get near the rocks, the voices in your head begin screaming too loudly to ignore. You have to get out of this pit right now. Fine, fine. Anything gonna happen on the way back up? Up. Nothing different. So, it's too late because I looked at everything. Oh, I forgot to check the... You know what? I'm pretty sure we got everything anyway. Silversmith's house. Jump into the pothole. We'll look into it in a moment. I don't need to make any of this. Oh, right, because I have Safe Kraken 3. And we get some silver nuggets. All right. Oop, more El Vibrato stuff. Yeah, there's nothing more to loot. So... okay, I crossed one thing, but the game doesn't seem to care overly much. This pile is already obviously made on purpose. Closer inspection reveals that the stones are mortared together. What could be hidden in there? Well, we bust up the pile with a pickaxe. Was the right tool for the job. Oh, now that's interesting. But I can't really do anything with it right now. Yeah, I was about to say let's go back to the professor now because I did the thing. Where are ya? Go ahead and get some coffee. It's free XP. It's to take a keystone to lost touch of mine, look for an unusual pile of rocks. I have indeed. Anything interesting? Beyond all the weird ancient technology? Well, I mean, did you bring anything back that I might evaluate? I bet there's something useful in there. You know what? Let's fabricate a key and go back then. Okay, yeah, we can insert a keystone. And now we enter the portal. You bend over to examine the device and accidentally stub your toe on it. It hurts, but the box moves. It must be lighter than it looks. You grab the device. The professor will want to see this. Huh, what's this thing? You have learned the Alberto word for toilet. Well, crap. It says something about a central reactor quick gate. Monolith is dark. If I could make another key, we'll look into that. There's a circular hole. Seems like this might be a doorway, but there's no keyhole or handles or anything. The strange device has 3 buttons on top of it. Push the first. Those things aren't friendly. Oh, is this the fight closet you were talking about? The one that makes doing this a lot easier? You know what? I bet I don't have to waste time buffing. And I'm right. Yeah, okay. Actually, can I check my inventory? Yeah, I have enough scraps. I can just go make another key. Actually, wait. I don't need to climb all the way back out. A nearby cloud of dust turns out to be a bandit on a horse, riding hell for leather for unknown reasons. Well, I know them, but you don't. You pull your horse up alongside hers to match her speed. Hi, what's up? Where's the fire? Get bent and or lost. Accuser of robbery. I accuse you of crimes, hand over your ill-gotten gains. While you She whips out a pistol and points at you, and you pluck it out of her hand. Thanks, I'll do just fine. Pulling the reins, stopping your horse, the bandit, nonplussed, continues to ride away. Excuse me. I'm not going to make another key. I was thinking make another key, but I don't think we quite need one just yet. Excuse me. We got a loop. Strange cloth loop inside. At least it feels more or less like cloth. Okay. Now we can hand this stuff in to the professor. Huh. We found the Big Apple. You spot an astonishingly large horse apple in the distance. You are literally astonished by the size of it. It is very large. We'll go that in a moment. So again, I have indeed. Did you find anything interesting? Show him the strange device. Great, let's see. Ah, marvelous find. This device makes batteries, or will once I fixed it. Batteries? Yes, the Vibranians powered their portable equipment with little electronic marbles, like the one I put in your transponder. I'm sure I don't have to tell you a regular source of these will be incredibly useful. Awesome. This requires scrap. I see what you mean about the grinding now. We'll need to use that fight maker to get scrap. But we seem to be done for the moment. Let's see what the apple is about. Transponder stuff. Excuse me a moment. We'll check that in a moment. As you reach the center of the clearing, you are simultaneously struck with a profound awe and a terrible stench as you discover the largest road apple you've ever seen. Can't even imagine how this got here. Was it a giant horse? Was it 200 normal-sized horses acting collaboratively? They should have sent a poet. Yeah, they should have. That's a load of crap. Doesn't smell any better close up, but we can clean it. You make a little dent in it. Keep digging. So, smaller than it was before. It's quite a bit smaller than it was before. Oops. It's almost gone now. A little dent in it. Hooray. You gain 1 XP. That was weird. Okay, we want to go to the mine and talk to the weirded out guy. Another safe we can crack open. This is a thing we could just sell. Yeah, we also have a bunch of valuables we could sell. And random junk I could probably just sell, but I can't think of anything I really need to buy right now. Let's try to talk to him. You know what? Let me check something. Oh, we can try to wear this. As you place the ring on your head, two things happen. One is that begins humming and shimmering in that weird whale vibrato thing shimmer, and the other is that you suddenly feel as if you put earplugs in your brain, and your thoughts get weirdly quiet. I'll say it's weird and not entirely pleasant. You take off the headband. Okay. That might have been what I needed to make it usable on him. Yeah. You put the headband on him and he blinks rapidly, shaking his head. Oh my goodness, where am I'm still in the mine, uninjured and hungry but not starving. So I can't have been here very long. Perhaps a day? Good. Well, I must have you to thank, friend. Howdy. Feeling better? Should say so. Thank you for helping me with this remarkable device. Don't mention it. What's your name? Murray Morris. Excavator of the unknown and purveyor of mysteries. Fancy. What brings you to this mine? Why, excavating the unknown for mysteries to purvey, of course. Or at least attempting to. Must admit that until you put this device on me, I was quite overcome. Overcome? Quite. I'm oversensitive to psychic emanations, you see. Always have been. As it happens, this curious little hole is absolutely overflowing with them. And they're none too friendly, I can tell you that for certain. It was risky business, my coming down here, but I took the gamble and lost. It's a miraculous thing that you happened by when you did, my friend. We should both get out of here as soon as possible. I've been staying in a town called Dirtwater, to the south. You could probably do some good business purveying mysteries there. Capital idea. Then I shall see you there. See you later. We've gained a new store. Let's go check it out. Wait, why did I go there? So everyone changes according to what's next to them, so these guys should have got something new. Fella moved in next door selling weird old antiques. He sold me a parchment scroll with a beer recipe on it and promised it wasn't cursed. Interesting. Care to try it? Show me your goods. So, mysticality as well as a big boost to spell damage. Okay. Hello again. Thank you for telling me about this town, my friend. It's a marvelous location. That's 2 good turns you've done me. No, don't mention it. Speaking of which, here's your curious headband back. Fortune willing, I won't be needing it again. No more gambles like that for me. Why is it so dark in here? Atmosphere, my friend. I sell mysteries, things which cannot be properly explained in the cold light of day. Why not? Well, it wouldn't be any fun. Okay. Where's all your merchandise? In the lock case behind me. These are things you must be kept from prying eyes and unprepared minds. And thieving hands? Well, that goes without saying. Gotcha. So what have you got? Beans that can serve any purpose if you're a master chef. Item finding bonus. Mysticality bonus. Mysticality. Get more non-combat random encounters. But mostly this is like the maid shop. So, let's think. I want to go back to the postal way station to get back on track with that. Fight the snake. And that's just enough I should beef up. You trespass. Follow the map towards Redwood. Chuck's house. Something about this house makes you suspicious. You can't quite put your finger on it. This place looks perfectly normal after all, but you can't shake the feeling that there's something very wrong going on here. Maybe you're just being paranoid. It's unmarked. There's no name on it. You approach the door hesitantly. You could be getting yourself into a real bad situation. Knock on the door. A voice inside calls out, "Come in, it's open." It's always open. Oh, sure, this is a great idea. The door creaks open, and you step inside the house. The interior is an absolute nightmare. The walls are covered with rusty chains and hooks, as well as a variety of wicked-looking knives and shears. A man of indeterminate age and slightly hunched posture grins widely as you enter, his eyes gleaming. He's standing near a large puddle of blood on the floor. Hello, my name is Chuck. Welcome to my little blood and breakfast. Your what? Blood and breakfast. Oh, sorry, I have a lisp. A lisp? Yeah, it makes lewd sounds like lewd. And bead sounds like breakfast. I see. That is a face he's making. People also tell me I emphasize words oddly, but I don't get that at all. Aha. There's a large collection of steel chains and hooks, as well as knives, shears, and other bladed implements. Everything is covered with rust or possibly dried blood, or possibly both. Ask Chuck about him. Ah, you've noticed my collection. Yeah, it's dramatic. It all belonged to my father and his father before him. They were butchers. And you? I do a little bit, but not professionally. I broke a family tradition to run my little blood and breakfast. Okay. There's a lot of blood on the floor here. Can't help but notice you have a giant pool of blood on your floor. Blood? Oh no, I can see why you might think that, as this is certainly blood like blood, but this is tomato soup. Tomato soup? Yes, I spilled my lunch. Very clumsy of me. Just getting started cleaning it up when you arrived. I see. A little pantry with various tins and jars on it. There's nothing very unusual, but you do notice 2 jars of tea leaves labeled Sleepy Time and Earl Grape. Kettle on the stove and it's still hot. Sorry, that's private. That's my blood room. Your what? My blood room. My bedroom. Oh, right. Gotcha. A cellar door. And I bet it's all kinds of horror down there. Like some kind of medieval torture dungeon. And we're entering it. It's locked, but is it locked to keep you out or to keep something in? Chuck is staring at you. You notice that his left eye has a tendency to drift sideways as he stares and then reset when he blinks, which is not often enough. Excuse me? Yes, how can I help you? You said you're running a bed and breakfast here? That's what I slewed, yes. Has the mailman been by recently? Why, yes, my last guest was a mailman. Such a nice fellow. It's a shame he's no longer with us. I hope you just mean that he left. I like to think he'll always be here. In spirit. Could I have a look at the guest room? It's in the cellar, but I'm afraid it's unavailable at the moment. My last guest has only just checked out, and I still need to clean up the mess. Ooh. What's on the menu? Homemade sausages and tomato soup. Of a special tea blend that's a real knockout. What kind of sausages? Long pork sausages, my grandfather's own recipe. Long pork being slang for human meat. Did you just say long pork? That's right, I make them longer than regular pork sausages. They're more filling that way. This is puzzling and uncomfortable for many different reasons. You mentioned a special tea blend? Yes, a special herbal blend that puts my guests right to sleep. It's very effective. Huh. Thanks. Nothing very unusual, but now we switch the labels. You surreptitiously swap the labels. Chuck doesn't seem to have noticed. So I think we ask for some tea now. What's on the menu? Special tea blend. Huh. Oh, that reminds me. I left the kettle on. The water should be boiled by now. Would you like a cup of tea? No, thanks. I'm good. Chuck pours himself a cup of tea and sips it while staring at you. After a bit, he starts to look drowsy. Oh my, I'm coming over all sleepy. Perhaps I should get my blood down for a few minutes. It's been a long day. Please excuse me. Door leads to check bedroom, blood room, or perhaps bedroom. Going through Chuck's drawer seems like it may be not a good idea. There's a key on top of the dresser, though. Yoink. We enter the cellar. Doesn't look nearly as horrific down here as you expected, unless you're particularly horrified by an unmade bed. Hey, this looks like a missing bag of mail. Books left by previous guests, see if there's anything good. Quite a few good books here. Oh, hey, we finally have the lockpicking skill. Horrifying concepts of Nex-Mex, we sell that, and cow punching. This book is a comprehensive guide to advanced lockpicking techniques. It's a whole chapter on tumblers. Nice. After you're done reading it, you donate it to a local orphanage. Soon those orphans will be able to make their escape. Go, orphans, go! Now the thing is, I swear I'm out of skills for cow punching, but you've already learned all the techniques in the book, but you do pick up a few tips and tricks from poring over the appendices. And the footnotes about cow appendices. Okay, then you work out a little bit by tearing the book in half. Okay, so from here on in, any new skill books are just free XP. Nice. There's a blank postcard on the nightstand. We grab it. As you're climbing out of the cellar, a mailman approaches you. Well, thank goodness you found my mail. This mailbox is yours? Yeah, I've been stressed out lately, so I took a day off and rented a room here for a sort of mini vacation. Chuck's a great guy. A little weird, I guess, but real personable. And his cooking is great. The tomato soup and those great big sausages. His tea did wonders for my insomnia, too. It did seem pretty effective. Anyway, I forgot my mail bag and wasn't sure where I left it, so I've been retracing my steps for ages. Thanks for finding it. Sure, no problem. Here you go. Man walks away with the bag over his shoulder, whistling a cheerful tune. Well, that's sorted, I guess. Oh yeah, sorry, my chat stopped scrolling. I actually already have some needles. I brought them a while back. Now it's just a matter of getting the lockpicking skill leveled up. So I guess we go back to Breadwood for now. Not yet. Bring back the soup. I can't do that one yet. Any signs of missing mail? Yep. Sounds informative. So I know. Mail grances at the list of problems on the wall. Okay, I did advance 2 days, so I should be able to just go get the permit. I think I need lockpicking 2 or 3, but we can take a look in a moment. The permit ready yet? Hey, look, yes, here it is, and here you are. Do I have to sign anything to collect it? Nope. Are you sure? No, sir, that's it. Holy crap. We can make more if we need it, but I think I'm okay for the moment. I have at least 3. Okay, here's the permit. It's definitely going to improve the situation around here. I just hope to never see another form again. Did you bring back the soup? Okay, the soup is the one thing I haven't done, but I should be able to ask about the lumber. Well, you've helped me out quite a bit, so I reckon I can set you up with what you need for that bridge. Thanks! The mayor glances at a list of problems posted on the wall and paces around nervously. Bad lumber. We gained 1 bad lumber deal. We're giving lumber to the railroad company for like no meat at all, and that's bad. There's a note at the bottom. Last time Mayor let this list get over 3 items, we chased him out of town with a breadstick nailed to the top of his head. Yikes. But first, let's go back to Dirtwater and check on Gun Manor. Yep, skeleton. We go back to Gun Manor. We go up to the second floor. We check the guest rooms. Oh, okay, we just need lock picking, period, so we can get in. Nice little landscape painting on the wall. Painting of the countryside is nice, but there's nothing very interesting about it. Looks like the sort of thing you'd find hanging over the bed in a mid-priced hotel room. Or in a bed and breakfast, come to think of it. Guess it's a little weird that it's hanging over a stepladder instead of the bed. Maybe it's the last occupant was a really short art aficionado. Take happy little trees. Oh, hey, according to the signature, this is an original Darius Klieg. You've never heard of him. You know, now that you're looking closely at it, seems like the painting is sticking out from the wall more than you would expect. So we take it off the wall. Well, what do you know? There's another painting underneath it. A painting of a safe. It's also so really old if it's got jokes of this vintage. Eh. Painting of a safe on the wall. Fairly realistic painting of a wall safe. It's captured. This is not a safe in French. Take it off the wall. You take this wall safe painting off the wall. Behind it is, of course, a wall safe. Of course. Now we can examine that. You inspect the large wall safe, which is securely locked. Fortunately, we have safe cracking. The safe swings open. It's empty, apart from a rolled up poster of Rita Hayworth. Swell. Search it anyway. Turn not to have gone through all this nonsense for nothing. You carefully search the empty safe. Eventually there's a click and the back of the safe swings open, revealing a secret passage. I guess that explains the stepladder. Finally. Is there anything else in here? Table is stationary, but there's no stationery on it. The mirror on this vanity doesn't work. Huh? Dangerously sharp leaves. You should leave them alone. Okay, that's not what I wanted to do. Okay, we go through this. We're in room 3. It's a sewing kit. So it is. Yeah, good one. I'm glad you think so. Phone's nature of so-and-so certainly is ripe for puns, yes? Is that so? Yes, very good, very funny. Listen, are you going to loot this container or what? Why so serious? Well, you're kind of driving the joke into the ground now, and it's getting really tiresome. Not really tiresome, only so-so. Just, come on, this has totally stopped being funny. Is that so? Yes, yes it is. Are you just messing with me? Do you just not want what's in this? I do want it. I want it so bad. Look, Larry, you're starting to get on my nerves now. So what? So what is that there's an item in here that you need for progression, and at this point I'm sorely tempted to not give it to you. So don't give it to me then. Oh god, just take it, okay? Take it and get the hell out of this script. You got an item, elevator button. Thank you so much. Please just leave. That's the best item in the game now. It really is. Proximity of this lamp makes the lamp extra healthy. The armor is bigger on the inside than it is on the outside. Right? There's some candy on the nightstand. 9 out of 10 dentists would be appalled. The room has a bed but no door. That's why they call it a bedroom and not a door room. So what if I go through this? Huh, we're in guest room 4. It's a box of science stuff. We take it. Box of science duties. Hello there. Are you here to laugh at me? No, not at all. I wouldn't do that. Of course you wouldn't. Nobody ever laughs. I never made a single person laugh in my entire career. That's a left turn I wasn't expecting. What was your career? I used to design gags and novelties, but I was terrible at my job. I couldn't come up with a single novel idea. This conversation seems oddly familiar. See, even my very presence is unoriginal. You're just being too hard on yourself. I bet you invented all kinds of good stuff. The best invention was fake vomit. It looks just like fake vomit, but surprise, it's real. Haha. That was the one that got me fired. How'd you die? If you don't mind me asking. I was working on a new invention, an exploding cigar. I thought that would be pretty good. You light the cigar, it's fine for a second, but suddenly it goes off with a big bang, and you jump in surprise, and everyone laughs because you nearly had a heart attack. Funny, right? Sure. I hit a snag in development, though. What happened? Well, I figured I'd use gunpowder for the explosive, and you can buy it already packed in these little brass cartridges, so that seems convenient. Did you mean bullets? My first test run was a real mess. Can you tell that? I can imagine. He made suicide cigars. So anyway, now I'm a failure and I'm dead. Maybe I can help you out. What do you mean? Well, your initial idea was pretty funny, I guess. It's just your execution that was the... Oh, did we have to word it like this? What's the problem? My execution... See, even he's aware of it. What's the problem? Ah, you're a laugh riot. Maybe you can help me after all. I'll see if I can figure something out for you. So what if I just talk to him again? Do you figure out how to make a good exploding cigar? One that doesn't turn fun into a funeral? I can't even make basic wordplay funny. Kind of clever, but what other novelties did you invent? Well, I invented a can of mixed nuts that had spring in it, so when you opened it, nuts spray out everywhere. That's kind of funny. Nobody would ever open a can because of how it said deadly venomous snakes on the label. Anything else? You know those flowers you wear on your lapel and it sprays water in someone's face when they smell it? You invented that? That's a classic. No, I tried to combine it with chewing gum made out of hot peppers. You invented a to near that maces people. Uh-huh. Ow. Anything else? People seem to like these little sea monkey things, so I thought maybe I'd do that except funnier. And I thought itching powder is pretty funny. You made itching powder out of brine shrimp? No, they're aquatic. It wouldn't work. I use spider eggs. Oh my god. Anything else? I tried to make an ultra-realistic stink bomb using pure methane gas. Turns out pure methane is actually odorless. That isn't why farts smell bad. Also it's extremely flammable. Okay, never mind. Okay. So, we need to make a better novelty item for this guy. Now, we can go up to the 3rd floor. Yeah, and I can tell him I just want to go to the 3rd floor now. Damn, that's a nice painting. Where are we? Kids' room. Which for some reason is playing Misbehave in this cave. It's a doll mine. How adorable. Just look at all the little miners and mine carts and mine shafts and bowls of minestrone. Oh, what's this? There's a tiny stick of dynamite stuck in a little borehole. This toy is interactive. I bet this would work for the, yeah, for the cigar thing. Oh, you know what? Yeah, I might as well before it becomes too late. Where are you, kid? Found something for you. Plus it's XP. Like how a counterclockwise phase inversion coil. I've been looking all over for one of these. Lars attaches one of the science doohickeys you gave her to her weird gun. And we get a new skill. But you know what? Since I think the stick is what we need, let's go ahead and see if we can hand that in now. Go from 2 to 3 to 4. I guess we need to do more with it, but it's probably a start to something. Whoa, that music is creepy. This room isn't unsettling at all. It's full of baby supplies you don't understand, like swaddling pads and teething blankets. The composition of this painting is bad in every way. But one has to wonder, do they all float? Looks like this is where the creepy music is coming from. This teddy bear is being comprehensively and enthusiastically disemboweled. Oh, hey. This stuffing would be perfect for making a silencer. Sorry, Teddy, it's for the greater good. That's the basement, I think. We have the can. Oh, this isn't going to be unsettling at all. It's a toy box. Who knows what horrors it contains? Let's find out. It's a stuffed gun. Huh. Less macabre than you were expecting. Some wooden block. You know it's gonna... I'm gonna play with them and it's gonna say boo. Thank you! This is more of a 3.5 poster bed. The little girl ghost is serving imaginary tea to her guests. The doll, while terrifying, is largely indifferent. The museum employee, on the other hand, is playing along with a raucous grin on his face. The little girl wears an annoyed and disappointed frown. Hello there, my name's Larry. Can I join your tea party? Against my better judgment. If you want, I guess, but it's a terrible tea party. Oh, what's wrong? You aren't having any fun? All I have is dumb made-up tea. I want a proper tea party, like Mama took me to. Tell me more about that party. Went to a real tea room. It was so pretty. There were vases with flowers in them, and everyone was all dressed up in suits and pretty dresses. There was white china teacups for tea. Real tea, not imaginary. Well, that sounds very nice. It was so nice, and everyone was so polite and charming and elegant. Well, until the fight started anyway. What? Well, two of the gentlemen there got into an argument. I don't know what it was about, but I guess one said something the other one didn't like, and he was so insulted he threw his tea right in the first man's face. And they took out their guns and started shooting at each other right there in the tea room. Whoa. They were still really elegant, though. They had little silver and ivory pistols, and they kept their pinkies out the whole time. Priorities, you know. Anyway, I don't remember the rest very well, except one of them missed the other and shot me by mistake. Ooh. Come on, chat. Keep scrolling for me. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Alright. Thanks, but it's alright. Heaven's supposed to be really nice, so I guess I don't mind so much. But I didn't get to finish my tea party, so I want to have another one before I go. Except I don't have any tea, and make-believe tea isn't fun anymore. I've actually got some tea. Oh, it's wonderful, thank you. She serves the tea, and the four of you, okay, well, not the doll, sip it with your pinkies extended in genteel fashion. And with a giggle and wave, she fades away. Rest in peace, kiddo. Oh, thank God, I thought it would never be over. Look at me, I'm shaking like a leaf. Kind of a freaky situation, right? Having to deal with little kids freaks me out bad enough. Having to interact with the ghost of one was horrifying. Anyway, thanks for the rescue. I need to get back to work. What do you do here? I run a candy counter in the visitor center. Oh. Huh. I think that was the second one. I'm going to write boo on the chalkboard. Thank you. You monster. Why would you write that? I do find it funny we're encountering this song again. This is much nicer vanity than the average Frontier teen. And now the average Frontier teen. Dust yourself up a little, it's free XP. Use the various powders and creams and aids to make yourself slightly more presentable. It's a Daniel Boone poster. It's going to say boo when I pull it down. Thank you! There's a flat skirt in here. Sort of like legless pants. Up. For the guy I kind of got forced into beating the crap out of. Also, that's actually a kilt. Looks like someone forgot a book under the bed. The title is Fun Law, Rules for 71 Parlor Games and Assorted Amusements for Children. Fun Law, Gun Law, same thing. Do I have to read it? Yes. Look for the book. Unsurprisingly, it's mostly about ways bored children can stay out of their parents' hair for just 5 damn minutes. Also has a little tag on the spine indicating it came from the mansion library. Okay. We probably go to the library next. What is this devil's music? I'm leaving it on. It's a box of science stuff. Someone has been slacking on their geometry homework. We do it for them. You decide to just take the book with you and do the assignments later. Rufus would probably understand this, but you sure as hell don't. You know what? We take it to him. I got you more science junk. What's this thing? Oh well, whatever it is, I'm sure it's safe. And yeah, she gains actually a healing skill. Nice. Musty, decaying pile of old music books. Let's face the music books. Almost all the books are dry rotted and moth-eaten and fall apart to touch. You do find a copy of Dueling Banjos in reasonable shape, though. What does that do? Book of sheet music for the classic song Dueling Banjos. There's a library call written number on the spine. Some sheet music on the piano. We'll grab it. Okay, I can play Dueling Banjos. I can't play Dueling Banjos by myself. I don't have enough arms. Florence? Sorry, I only play the bagpipe and not very well. It's a bagpipe, how do you know? How about you, Susie? If I could play the piano, I'm pretty sure two people can't play both parts of Dueling Banjos on the same piano. In fact, I reckon it might be straight up illegal to try. You guys are no fun. This is a bassoon, and you know what they say. It makes an ass out of N and what? Ay. This woman doesn't seem to be interested in anything other than in cranking that hurdy-gurdy, which, if we disconnect the crank, you definitely disconnect the crank from the hurdy-gurdy without alerting the woman's attention. Turns out you need have bothered. She continues to turn the crank, blank-eyed, even with nothing attached. Excuse me. You grab the end of the crank and pull her, very slowly, to the gift shop, where you find a Victrola to plug her into. Problem solved? Oh, hey. Right information, sure. Hey, never mind. It's open. It's stat by 3 and something that stat would find useful. Okay. Oops. Excuse me a moment. She seems just as happy here as she was before. Must be nice to have a calling. So, I think we need to go to the library. That's the second floor. Long Dueling Banjos. They go on different shelves, so you can't do them both at once. You find a shelf where Fun Law belongs and put it back. The next book on the shelf is entitled Gun Law, which might be even more entertaining. Definitely give this a shot. You learn basically everything there is to know about gun law. Now you can be the prosecuting attorney and defense counsel in addition to judge, jury, and executioner. After that, you put the shelf back on its book back on its shelf. Time to dispense some justice. Oh, hey, pistol attack bonus. If I used pistols, that would mean something. So out of curiosity, you find a shelf where Dueling Banjos begins and put it back. The previous book on the shelf is entitled Duel Law, which seems to be the legal issues surrounding dueling. Never know when that might come in handy. Duly noted. Learn all about all the laws pertaining to dueling. It turns out when two guys want to murder each other in a fair and reasonable manner, things get legally tricky. That's more pistol attack damage, and we put this thing back on its shelf. I think the gallery is where the one person was. Over. What's your problem anyway? Oh, it's legal stuff you understand. In fact, I think you'll find I'm quite conversant in the finer points of our justice system, particularly as it pertains to guns and gun-related activity. Horseradish, you're all trousers and no briefs. And well, just try me, smart lady. Fine, obviously you aren't going to leave me alone, so just ask a question. I'm Larry Scott, speaking for the record. State your name, occupation, and cause of death. Lacey D. Wainwright, defense attorney. Lost a court-approved trial by combat. What, trial by combat has been outlawed for like 15 years. You don't understand ghosts don't visually age as time passes, right? Oh, right. So your client called for a trial by combat, which meant you and a persecutor had to face off in a duel. That's correct. And you lost. This is probably why having duel, where I would need to have dual law, which I do. Are you acting dumb just to try and throw me off guard? I withdraw the question. Why are you stuck as a ghost? Because although trial by combat was already well out of fashion at the time, it was still a valid legal recourse. I should have been prepared for the possibility, but I wasn't. My lack of training resulted in an innocent man being executed for murder. Oof. How was he executed? Hanging, I assume. Obviously, I wasn't around to see it. So, to release you, I need to prove the loss wasn't your fault. The trial duel was completed fair and above board. There's no chance of there having been foul play on the persecutor's part. My loss is my own. Then I'd have to prove your client was actually guilty and therefore your feeling of responsibility are misplaced. The look she gives you is hard and cold. Look, you think you know a thing or two about law? How about you just tell me the first rule of being a defense attorney? Don't refer to his gavel as weird little hammer. You have to trust and believe in your client. If you don't believe your client is innocent, you'll never convince anyone else he is either. So if I want to convince you he's guilty, you have an uphill fight. You are basically playing persecutor here. Alright, tell me about the case. My defendant was Matthew Guilty McReady, accused of the murder of Victor Vic Tinsbury at noon in June 18th, 1878 in Reno. Good question. I have some questions. Go ahead. Yeah, I have no idea how doable this is for me. Your client was actually named Guilty? Come on. Names don't mean anything. I went to the client named I killed a guy, and he was totally innocent. For someone's actual legal name, sure, but nicknames are usually given with some sort of basis. You never met a really tall guy, Tiny, or a fat guy called Slim? Arguably, the nickname would reinforce my client's innocence. That's totally absurd, but I'll let it rest for now. Let me ask something else. What was the cause of death? Tinsbury was shot through the heart with a .45 caliber revolver. So, shot through the heart, and he's to blame? And did McReady own such a gun? Yes, he was holding it at the time, and subsequent examination showed that it had been recently fired. Are you messing with me? Any further questions? Yes, I do have some more questions. Yeah, go ahead. This was at noon precisely? Yes, that was confirmed by witnesses. Also, McReady owned a fancy pocket watch that chimed in the hours. There were witnesses, about half a dozen of them. I'm pretty sure there's something you aren't telling me. I'm not obliged to play my hand face up, Mr. Persecutor. Okay then, go ahead. Hang on a second. Shot with a pistol in front of witnesses at exact noon. Was this a duel? So you can add 2 + 2 after all. Well done. Well, as luck would have it, I've just recently read a whole book about duel law. What? Why? No reason. I just happened across in the library and thought it might be interesting. You read an entire code of law you found at random just for the heck of it? Yep! Let me just do a quick review. A duel is legal provided it's between exactly 2 people at specific prearranged time and place using the same or at least essentially similar weapons, and have to either face each other down and quick draw at the appointed moment, or do the 10 paces turn and fire routine. Is that right? That's the gist of it, yes. So I guess let's start with you telling me the facts of the case, and I'll interrupt you rudely if I have any questions. So we're doing the Ace Attorney thing, huh? All Phoenix, right? Alright, but you have to push me on trivia. But if you push me on trivial nonsense, I'll get mad and you have to start over. This seems fair. Go ahead. Kenzie and Tinsbury got into an argument in the saloon on the evening of June 17th. Apparently, Tinsbury accused McReady of cheating at poker. Go on. The bartender yelled at them to take it outside, but since it was dark out, they agreed to meet for a duel the next day. And that would be the 18th, you said? Yes, June 18th, 1878. Okay, go on. Well, the next day they both showed up shortly before noon and squared off about 30 feet from each other. When noon struck, McRae fired, fast enough for Tinsbury didn't get his shot off, on account of having his head shot off. That's pretty much the long and short of it. I'm going to have to ask for some more details. What weapons were they using? McRae had a .45 caliber single-action Army revolver. Tinsbury had an older model .36 caliber cap and ball Navy revolver, which he loaded with a paper cartridge instead of packing the gunpowder by hand. Wouldn't those count as significantly different? Kidding me? They're both pistols. A modern cartridge revolver versus an antique cap and ball loader? Ridiculous. The antique was in production until 1873 and was considered one of the most reliable and popular 6-shooters in the territories. Furthermore, the restrictions against differing weapons in that duel is about pistols versus rifles, or the proverbial knife in a gunfight. Or, as a more recent example, a nitwit trying to argue the law against a professional attorney. Jeez, that's a bit harsh. She just shoved me out. Oh, this is going to be a right pain in the butt. Fortunately, I've got a bit over an hour to kill, so... Let's go. Seems fair. Go on. Okay, go on. Ask some more details. He fired exactly at noon. Yes, as soon as the church bell started ringing. You also mentioned the pocket watch. Yes, you have to actually pocket watch that chimed on the hour. Is that important for some reason? I guess not. Let me ask something else. You said there were witnesses? A half a dozen of them watching from across the street or peeking through half-open shutters. Were they involved? Yes, and their stories lined up with what I just told you. Were any of them known associates of McReady? I'm not aware of anyone being actual friends with McReady, but he was a local. A lot of people knew him. Gets you a suspicious look. Wait a sec. Where are you going with the objection? Come on. And one of those people could have interceded on McReady's behalf. Well, and done what exactly? Well, they could have shot Tomsfield with a more accurate weapon, like a rifle. Then it would have been 2 gunshots instead of just 1. Or are you suggesting he shot him with a poison blowgun dart? Well, was he tested for poison? Get out, right? Okay. I mean, it's basically Ace Attorney, so it's random nonsense to an extent. Okay. Seems fair. Go ahead. Go on. Okay, go on. More details. This seems to be a dead end. Any questions? What was the name of the saloon? Two-headed horse? Weird. Did they have one? No, I think the proprietor was going for a sort of double entendre, but it doesn't really work. Huh, no, it really doesn't. Two-headed spider, maybe, but anyway, do you have other questions, or can we get on with this? Go ahead. That was the 18th of June, you said? Yes, June 18th, 18th. Let me reset this. Let's go. I have some questions. Tell me more about the argument. There isn't much to tell. The other players in the game have already folded their hands in that round, so they weren't paying very close attention. All we know is that Timsbury suddenly accused McCary of being a dirty, cheat environment, and McGrady said Timsbury was just sore because he's been losing all night. Excuse me, water time. McCready have a history of cheating? He'd been accused of it once or twice before, but it was a gambling town, and he hung out in the rough part of it. Getting accused of cheating by a sore loser when you're on a lucky streak is par for the course. But if McCready had a history of cheating, it would be irrelevant because the reason for the duel is immaterial to the legality of the duel itself. Motive isn't an issue here, but... Alright, warned you about taking me off with stupid digressions? This is an excellent example. I have another question. This is stupid. What day of the week was it? Monday. Monday, June 18th, 17th, 18th, 28th. Which makes sense. Everyone's always a bit grumpy on a Monday, huh? They should make the weekend Sunday, Monday instead. Then you could spend Monday relaxing instead of having to go to work. But then, whatever. Do you have any questions? Go on with the story. I mean, testimony. The bartender yelled at him to take it outside. But since it was dark out, they agreed to meet for a duel the next day. That'd be the 18th, you said. Okay, I have a question. What did they... Yeah, they set a specific time, we said. They agreed the next day. Oh, wait. Did they set a specific time? We have a date. Yes, high noon. Figures. Why is it always high noon? Tradition, I suppose. Since the sun is still at its highest in the sky, everything's brightly lit and there aren't many shadows, so that's good for gunfighting. Makes sense. Plus, you can have your duel on your lunch break. Let me ask something else. Why didn't they just fight right then? Because it was dark. You can't have a gunfight in the dark. No, I get that, but I could have just had a regular old fist fight. They were mad enough to shoot each other to death, but not to punch each other? Well, without getting too psychoanalytical, these guys were gunfighters. I mean, they counted that as a significant part of their identity. Fighting without guns was not just outside their wheelhouse, they considered it a waste of their time and talents. Like asking a fancy French chef to make you a grilled cheese sandwich. Let me ask something else. Why didn't they just not fight? What? Well, if a fight breaks out in the heat of the moment, that's one thing, but they cool off enough to schedule a meeting for the next day? And still go through with it? Card game is a heck of a thing to get killed over. It's an honor thing, I suppose. That, and they were each confident that they wouldn't be the one getting killed. Yes, it's dumb, but it's also extremely immaterial. Toxic definitions of masculinity and the general lawlessness in the frontier, and not what's on trial here. Fair enough. I guess something else. Sorry, never mind. What happened next? Details. Exactly noon. So McCready fired as soon as the church bell struck noon. This I didn't say. Yeah, that's just what I said. Have you got a point to make, or are you just stalling for time? Objection. McCready fired at the wrong time. What are you talking about? He fired exactly noon when the church bells. With the church bells, are witnesses. That's right. He fired at clock noon, but the duel is set for high noon. They aren't the same thing. High noon is just when the sun is at its highest point in the sky. Depending on geography and time of year, it can be hours different from clock noon. McCready fired early. That makes the duel illegal. So what do you say to that, counselor? Felicity gives you a slow smile. I've got to hand it to you, First Gear Scott. You're a lot better at this than I was giving you credit for. That's a good thought you had there. Just one problem with it. Oh, what's that? I already thought it. Yeah, this is. Sure was a small book at you, which you just barely managed to catch. Yeah, what the heck is this? I did my homework when I was preparing for the trial. My legal homework, since at the time I expected there to be an actual trial, not a gunfight. What you're holding there is a nautical almanac for the year 1878. There are bookmarks if you'd like to do the math yourself, but if you look up solar noon, aka high noon, for June 18th and make the adjustment for Reno's longitude, what do you think you get? You've got to be kidding me. That's right, Mr. Prosecutor, 12 o'clock p.m. precisely. Oh, well, damn. Nice try, though. I mean that sincerely. That's all my ammo. I can't think of another way to disprove Freddy's innocence. As far as I can tell, it was a fair duel. Yes, and that's me with guilt of innocent man's death on my hands. Innocent man's death. Sure, good at repeating things people say. What if he didn't die? Say what now? What if you didn't actually see the... Well, you didn't actually see the execution, right? Yes, well, I was indisposed, you might say, being dead and all. So you don't actually know whether or not it happened. Come on, look, I appreciate the effort, but you're barking at the moon. Let me ask you something. All right, go ahead. Was the trial right after the duel, the 19th? No, I don't know what Reno's like now, but it didn't have a proper courthouse then, and you can't try a murder charge on the sheriff's front parlor. Grady sat in jail for a couple of weeks, and then they transported him to Frisco with one thing and another, and the trial didn't start until July 25th. Geez, so much for the right to speedy trial. The wheels grind slow. I have another question. When was the execution? Well, we held the trial by combat on the 26th, and that was a Friday. They don't execute prisoners on the weekend, so presumably it would have been the following Monday, the 29th. In the morning? With what was setting up the gallows and letting a crowd gather, they usually happen in the afternoon. Around 3 typically. I have another question. What can you tell me about McReady? He was a gunfighter through and through, and by that I mean he was an adrenaline addict and dueling was his needle of choice. Hell, if you told me you had evidence that he cheated at poker with the specific intent of baiting people and challenging him to duels, I wouldn't be the least bit surprised. He was a sly one. Her expression softens and she sighs. I make him sound like a real devil. That's not fair. He was smart and charming and could have been a good man if he'd choose an entirely different life for himself. Anything else? Well, I recall he had a real good head for numbers. Told me that he never forgot a date, and every man he'd ever kill, he'd remember the pour beer on their grave on their birthday. That's nice. Nicer birthday person would have been not having killed him in the first place, of course. Yep. Have another question? Alright, go ahead. Why did he invoke trial by combat? Assuming he was innocent, why would McReady invoke trial by combat? His case was pretty straightforward, and a duel only worsened the odds. I was mighty surprised, let me tell you. The only thing I can figure is it was his damn full sense of gunfighter's pride or something. Like, that was the only form of justice he was willing to submit himself to. I have another question. I'll be back. I need to do some research. I'm betting if I take this book to the library, it'll lead to something interesting. Can I read the almanac first? Look up a date in it. Oh, wait. Exactly collecting that data. There doesn't seem to be anything special about it. Wait a sec. Wait. Okay, so I can check dates, and I was told a few. Go back to the gallery. Trial was on the 19th, right? Okay, so what do I have for July 25th? This is when McReady's trial started. No special astronomical events for a day as far as you can tell. July 25th. When was the execution? So it would have been July 29th at around 3. Okay. Is there June 29th or... Yeah, we could do... I might be getting confused again. This was when McReady was going to be executed. Let's see. Well, wait a minute. According to this, there was a total eclipse of the sun that day, centered right over the Western Territories, and with its totality at 2:47. That's a hell of a thing. Okay, that might be what I needed. I looked up July 29th in your almanac. What? Now you're just messing with me. No, look for yourself. Totality at 2:47 p.m., right over the Western Territories. Well, that's quite a thing, but I don't see how that affects... Wait, unless you're suggesting... Right, was the perfect opportunity for McReady to escape. That's absurd. Absurd like a fox. You said yourself McReady was really good at remembering dates. You could have read about the eclipse at any time and stored that knowledge away for future use, like to give himself an advantage in a duel or something. Alright, that's reasonable as far as it goes, but McReady couldn't have worked the eclipse into an escape plan because he didn't have any say over the court schedule. You said, what with one thing and another, the trial didn't start until July 25th. McReady could have caused any number of those delays himself by faking illness in prison or messing with the horses on the ride to Frisco or anything. This also could explain trial by combat. You mean there ended up being too much delay, so if a regular trial went on too long and he was found guilty, he'd have missed the eclipse. Exactly. Whereas if he called for a trial by combat, everything would be resolved one way or the other in only one more day. Maybe you'd win and that'd be fine, but if you lost, he could use his escape plan. To admit, that's pretty compelling, but it's all maybes and what ifs. Yeah, maybe it happened, but maybe McReady was rescued by leprechauns. Oh man, are there leprechauns in Frisco? You need some kind of hard evidence before this is any more than just a fun story, is what I mean. Let me ask you something else. How can I find evidence of the escape? Well, we don't know that an escape ever happened. True. Something like that would have been in the news for certain. Okay, I'll see what I can find. Find a few bundles of old newspapers at the bottom of one shelf. The Frisco Newsinator. You start at the bottom of the stack and flip through them until you find a paper for the week of July 28th, August 3rd, 1878. The main feature has to do with the eclipse and various accidents and spectacles that occurred because most people weren't expecting it. The editor apologized for burying the announcement in the previous week's weather forecast. Most notably, all 3 men scheduled to be hanged on the 29th escaped in confusion. Only 2 of them were recaptured. Unfortunately, their names aren't given. Keep looking. You didn't find anything else relevant to the case. However, as you're putting the papers back in order on the shelf, a headline on a more recent issue catches your eye. Husband of famous inventor missing. The article is light on information, but apparently his gun husband, Dan, vanished on the road while traveling to Dirtwater on business about 6 years ago. Law enforcement suspects bandits, but no evidence was found. That's kind of grim. Okay, now it just repeats that. Let me check something. Hang on the 29th. It doesn't say anything, So what happens if I go to the gallery? Can we bring up, hey, I found out about the escape? Found a newspaper article. The guy scheduled to be executed the day the eclipse escaped, and one of them was never caught. Which one? Well, did it say? Nope, damn it. And executed criminals aren't going to give him gravestones with their names on them, so you can't just go looking around Fresco Cemetery to find out. Listen, Larry, I really appreciate what you're trying to do, but at this point you would have to actually find McReady himself to prove he wasn't executed due to my failure. Well, I guess that's what I'll do then. Oh, we have a bot. Those things are getting endemic, but let's go somewhere else. You know what? I'll take a hint, sure, because this is being a bit of a pain in the butt. So I gotta go back to dirt water. Yeah, that kind of makes sense. I'll say no, but I can go back to the coach, and by extension, we go back to dirt water. Yeah, Lloyd. Ever hear of a fella named McReady? Nope, don't ring a bell. Would have been about 17 years ago. Heck, I got a long memory, but not that long. I only started working here 6 or 7 years ago anyhow. What about the guest register? I only keep those for the last couple of years. The only place I know that might have records as far back as what you need would be the post office. Okay, so we go to the post office. This actually package came for you. Here you go. Thanks. You know what? I have some postcards. Thanks. And I'd like to send a postcard because I have. You heard of the Postcard Limitation Act of 1893? No, what's that? Okay, so the government put a restriction on prepaid postcards of 1 per citizen per day. Now, what do you think? Now, why do you think that might be? Well, to reduce strain on the postal system? Nope. That's what everyone guesses, but that ain't the thing. I can still make the trip no matter how many postcards are on board. Unless we're talking so many postcards you need a second wagon, but that ain't likely. So, to restrict the free flow of information, to keep the people from being able to say too much in the mail, so the left end of the territory doesn't know what the right end is doing and vice versa. That way they can implement a different rule of law in each area, whatever's most effective to keep them particular folks down. But people can still send letters. Letters. Who's got time to write a whole letter in this day and age? But I ain't even got the real big part yet. What's the first 2 letters in conspiracy, huh? C-O-O, geez. That's right, they're in league with the cows. It's all a plot to keep us docile so they can deliver us from these hell cows they summoned. You think the government deliberately summoned the cows? There's proof. The plan was referred to on a writer attached to a Senate Farm Aid bill that was passed 11 years ago. And when did the cows come home? That's right, 11 years. There's no way a Senate bill says let's summon cows from hell on it. No, not in so much obvious words. Are you cracked? It's all code and dog whistles, like, go look up for yourself. Okay, even if I wanted to do that, the capital city isn't even in this territory. It's 100 miles away. Huh? And you think that's a coincidence? A CO incident? Okay, well, that's very interesting by now. You poor bastard. It's like the 1800s. I don't think tinfoil's even been invented yet. Wait, I had something else to do here. Trying to find a guy named McReady. There's a possibility he might have passed through here about 17 years ago. Passed through? We don't stamp passports here. Yeah, stay for a while. I might have a foreign address. Oh, can you check, please? Alright, them books could use dusting anyway. One sec. She pulls some big ledgers out of her desk and blows a huge cloud of dust into the air, then starts leaping through them. 17 years, round about 78, then 76, 77, 78. Barone, Mableston, McMurphy, McReady, got a Matt McReady. That the one? That's him. No foreign address, but you could ask at his old place, just out to the northwest of here. Let me see your map. Oh yeah, looks like you already got it here. Desert House, that's the one. Oh, here it is. Counter a family of scared settlers trying to pack their wagon to head east out of Dirtwater. They're having a hard time getting everything situated. Using your advanced spatial skills, you nestle everything in a wagon with space to spare. Now you don't have to leave your children behind. Try not to die of dysentery out there. Yeah. Chat seems a little delayed here, and I don't know why. Mac McReady stuck to his guns, dig up his grave. Boof! You dig until your shovel hits the wooden coffin and haul the lid open. Skeleton blinks at you. Or, well, it doesn't, but anyway. Howdy? Howdy, are you Guilty McReady? Oh, no, I ain't heard that nickname in, what year is it? 1895. 17 years. Now, I tell a lie, there was that one time 8 years ago. Same McReady that escaped the gallows during an eclipse? Yeah, well now, since the statute of limitations expired, I might as well fess up. Yep, that was me. Real sweet plan too, apart from the one little hitch. Went off smooth as silk. Even worked in a little misdirection to lead the law to them two other fellas. Instead of me. Serves them right too. That was real murderers, not like me. I never killed a man except in a fair fight. Except for that one little hitch you mentioned. You miscalculated how long to delay the trial. So, in order not to miss the eclipse, you called for trial by combat. Oh, well, yep, that's the truth of it. You mind me for Miss Wainwright's death, I suppose? Why didn't you just trust her? Should have gotten you declared innocent. She had a real good head on her shoulders, sure, but so did that persecutor fella. I didn't rate the odds better than 50-50, not good enough. And anyway, the trial by combat was part of her job. Should have been ready. That stinks, she trusted you. She's a ghost now because she feels guilty about losing that trial. I've spent ages trying to convince her you weren't innocent, and she backed you every step of the way despite the fact that you got her killed, and you don't even care? Hell, you bite your tongue, Sonny. You don't know me. Don't care? I did what I felt I had to do to stay alive, and I felt damn guilty about what happened to Miss Wainwright. But I ain't taking all the blame for it. No, sir. She'll tell you herself she should have been better prepared, just like she told me that day, apologizing with her last breath. I gave up gunfighting for her, gave up the only thing I lived for. That's how I felt about it. You gave up gunfighting? Weren't easy, but I did. Bought the house, built the land, raised some chickens, and had a little vegetable garden. This has gone to hell since I died. That's a shame. Anyway, I never fired my pistol again, not even at a damn fence post. That's not what it says on your grave. Oh, yeah, read it again. That's the fellow who killed me having a little ironic joke, I reckon. Someone killed you? You're only the second person to track me down. First one was 9 years after trial. Nick Timsbury's brother hunting for revenge. What happened? Challenged me to a duel, and I told him I ain't doing that no more. He asked again, and I said no, and he hollered at me, and I took my pistol out of the closet and threw it at his feet so he could see how the cylinder was all rusted shut. And he cocked his gun and asked me one last time. I said no, and last thing I remembered the bang. Jeez. Do you want to see Felicity again? I can take you to her ghost. Nah, I reckon I'll just go back to sleep. Ain't right, a dead fellow walking around. Just tell her sorry for me, alright? And you can give her my pocket watch. She'll recognize it. Alright then, bye. So long, fella. You close the coffin and fill the hole back in. Let's go finish this thing. So that's up to the second floor. Into the gallery. Yeah, I got a question for you. Are you ready for this? What now? I found McReady's grave. He wasn't executed. You're 100% certain it's him, not some other man named McReady. It was him. Here, give me this watch to give you. She turns the watch around in her hands for a while, just looking at it without saying anything. Then she slowly winds it and listens as it chimes the hour. Yes, this is his watch, all right. Thank you. Wait, you said he gave it to you? He's alive? Not exactly. He's a skeleton. We talked for a while, and then he asked me to bury him again so he can go back to sleep. What did he say? He confirmed our guesses. He knew about the eclipse in advance and stalled the trial for his escape plan. But stalled it too long and decided to hedge his bet by calling for the trial by combat. I see. He gave up gunfighting. He what? He brought a little house and raised chickens. Never fired his pistol again. In fact, he left it to rust. 9 years later, Timsbury's brother caught up to him and challenged him to a revenge match, but he refused repeatedly, so the guy shot him. He said to tell you he was sorry. She looks at you silently for a moment, then looks at the watch. She winds the hands back a minute and listens to its chimes again. She sighs and shakes her head and smiles at you. You, Larry, you make a damn fine attorney. She shakes your hand and fades from view as she does so, leaving her attorney's badge in your hand. Basically, an across-the-board damage buff. Nice. Rest in peace. Talk to Paul. Hi, Paul. How's it going? Shh, the ghost's still there. No, I took care of her. Oh, thank God. Gotta go wash this flower off and get back to work. But first, he starts frantically scratching every part of his body. Man, feel like I've been saving up those itches for days. I was about to go crazy. Thanks, Larry. You're a lifesaver. Saver. No problem, I won't. Come see me at the visitor center. I'll hook you up with a souvenir photograph. Wanders off, still scratching. See ya. Actually, you know what? Easy access to the visitor center. Oh, that's the carriage house. Thanks again for your help. What an ordeal. No problem. How's the itching? More or less better. I mean, hygiene is what it is in this day and age, you know? Would you like a souvenir photograph? It's only 200 meat. Sure, I'll take one. Okay, then smile. You get an item. Gun Manor photo. This is a souvenir photograph of Gun Manor. Looking at it reminds you of the time you visited Gun Manor and brought a photograph of it. Wait a second. It's a photograph of the house. Yep, an official Gun Manor souvenir photo. Why'd you take a picture of me then? Well, that's just for our records. They're okay? Sorry, only one per customer. I'm not sure why anybody want to, but fair enough. Oh, yeah, I have that package I never looked at. I thought you might be able to use this. A portable leather workbench. Geez, that really is like it, and you missed your parents. You'll get all the stuff just thinking about it. Nostalgia mode unlocked in options menu. Can we turn that off, please? Thank you. Okay, I guess we go back to exploring the third floor now. Also, I'd like to note we have managed to solve that quest without consulting a guide, which is pretty good. I guess it's time we finally talk directly to the owner. The door is locked and no earthly force can open it. Well, maybe a whole team of horses, but good luck getting them up the elevator. Knock knock. Yes, who is it? Miss Gunn, I'm Larry Scott. You're the ghost extermination people? Yes, ma'am. Florence Cunningham, Cunningham Ghost Annihilation Services. Larry's my assistant. What? Who's the county licensed ghost hunter here? Me or you? Okay, fine. You've been able to exterminate all the ghosts. I still feel haunted. 7 of them left, according to the scanner. Well, we're still working on it, ma'am. Don't worry, you can count on us. All right, please let me know when you're finished. Will do, ma'am. This stuff is tacky, both in terms of style and stuff that has been spilled on it. This is a spittoon here. Bright, shiny, beautiful spittoon. Gimme. Oh boy, I come to Papa. What are you doing? Huh? Nothing. What are you doing? Look at someone who's kneeling next to a spittoon with the apparent intention of sticking his whole entire face inside it. Dive in. Jam your head into the spittoon up the shoulder and find nothing. The brass bucket is shiny and clean, outside and in. Clean as the day it was born. The museum staff must have washed it. Looks brand new. Are you crying? No, I'm fine. You're crying. Okay, well, I'll just be over here whenever you're done lying on the ground in the fetal position and hugging a spittoon. Oh, that's perfect. There's a trap door in the ceiling over here. Too bad you aren't, like, 11 feet tall. Hey there, how's it going? I ain't interested in chit-chat, fella, just billiards. Step up or shut up. Okay, we challenge him to a game. Don't have a cue. You also don't have a clue how you play without one. Ah, right. Wow, I hope you never meet a live duck this big. One of this moose's eyes is loose. We got the eye for that one ghost down the floor below. So many polyesters die just to decorate rooms like this. These antlers are made out of paper mache, apparently by somebody who's never seen antlers before. Whole rack of bowling trophies. If they were billiard trophies, there'd be an easier pun to make. There's a goblin head mounted in the trophy on the wall. This would be positively barbaric if not for the fact that goblin seems pretty okay with it. Okay then. You can tell this is fake because there isn't floating around the room setting stuff on fire. This is just a photograph of a fish. Mrs. Gunn was apparently really liberal with the definition of trophy. The ghost is dressed up as a traditional safari hunter with the pilf helmet and big white mustache. Those weird khaki trousers that make it look like your butt has wings. He's inspecting Mr. Gunn's trophy collection, but doesn't seem particularly impressed. Hi, I'm Larry Scott. Oh, charmed, I'm sure. Lord Estant Camdenton at your service. What happened to you, if you don't mind my asking? Not at all, not at all, though it isn't a very exciting story yet. What? I was hunting lions on the plains of the Sparengeti, and one of the bears got the better of me. Wow, you were eaten by a lion? It sounds pretty exciting to me. Yes, well, not eating as such. Sneaky bugger crept into camp and pushed a stack of ammunition crates over on me. Huh. Maybe I can help you? Help me do what? Well, help you with whatever's keeping you a ghost. Though, now that I say it, I guess there isn't much I can do to help you get revenge on that lion. Oh, no, this isn't revenge that's keeping you here. Good for that lion, I say. Turnabout's fair play and all that, eh? What? Though I do wish he'd done it in a manner that made for a better story. So, why are you a ghost then? Because of one to regret, I never faced the most dangerous game. I am definitely not helping you hunt people. What? No, the most dangerous board game. Is this going to be a Jumanji reference? Nobody was ever willing to play against me. Really shame, eh? What? What's the game? Lead you over to a small table in which is laid out a board of alternating red and black squares with little wooden discs painted red and black as well. Checkers? Checkers jump and scatter as the ghost stabs two large hunting knives in the center of the board. Knife checkers! Did I do the thing with the dictionary in the library? If it's the one to figure out poaching, I beat that ghost up before that happened. What are the rules? Do you know how to play checkers? Yes. Do you know how to stab somebody in the hand with a knife? Yes? That's all you need to know, really. Alright, I'll play. You yank one of the knives out of the board, and Lord Eston instructs you to hold it left-handed. The rules are you may only attack your opponent's hands, and only when they are over the board. Displaced checkers are played from where they land, but attacking the board directly is a foul, which awards the opponent a stab for each turn. Appears to be primarily a game of concentration, quick movements, and feinting. We have 15 muscle, we play aggressively. You start out the game by attacking quickly and fiercely to establish dominance and keep your opponent from developing his pieces. Strategy is somewhat effective, but Lord Eston doesn't scare easily, and he manages to feint a few pieces past your guard. You enter the mid-game more or less evenly matched. You switch to playing intelligently. In the mid-game, you focus more on the checkers and on your knife work, maneuvering into position for some big gains in the long term. You suffer a few minor nicks and cuts, but are well positioned for the end game. Play craftily. Lord Eston spots a hole in your defenses. He feints left, then quickly slides one of his pieces into the gap, and into your trap. This moves his hand into just the position you need to attack it with a hard downward stab. He easily yanks his hand out of the way, and your knife hits one of your pieces on its edge, flipping it across the board to land neatly in his back rank. King me. Nice save. It's foul to attack the board. Sure, but I wasn't, was I? I attacked your hand and you dodged, that's all. You sneaky blighter. Play continues with a king behind Lord Eston's lines, you clean up fairly quickly. Alright, lad, I concede. Marvelous play. What? Well done. Gives you a sharp salute and fades away into nothingness. Phew. The chili eating dude I figured out. Ghost chili was weird. That's what I had to look up. Was I in here? I was in here. It's humidor. Here's the cigar we need. Can I grab another one? Can I grab another one? You've already got plenty of them at this point. What the heck? This guy doesn't notice you approaching until you're right next to him. He yelps in surprise and drops his glass on the floor, and squints unsteadily at you. Then he takes a cherry from a bowl on the bar cart and throws it at your head. Hey, stop that. Sorry, just making sure you ain't one of them ghosts. He drops another cherry into a fresh glass and pours a lot of whiskey on top of it. You one of the museum's employees? Yep, that's me. What are you doing here? Hi, buddy. I don't know if maybe you didn't notice, but this house, This house has got ghosts in it. You don't say. A whole bunch of them, all over. So I don't know about you, but I'm staying right here where it's nice and drunk. I mean safe. Would you rather get out of here? Nah, Nah, all the booze. Oh, that is booze. I'm really scared of when ghosts go boo. You know, they get me if I leave the room. There aren't any ghosts between this room and the exit. So you said. That's what you said, but there's ghosts. They could be anywhere, except in here. Exactly. I leave it out. Guarantee that ghosts won't grab me on the way out. Could disguise you with the shower curtain. Well, we'll use this white shower curtain to disguise you as a ghost, then they won't bother you on the way out. That's a mighty fine idea, bud. Ghost says his drink back and pours another. But, oh, eye holes. Well, the curtain's got no holes in my eyes. I won't be able to see. Sorry to think you don't actually want to leave. No? What gave you that idea? It's terrible in here. Shoot some holes in the curtain. There you are, aim and blast some holes in the curtain with your pistol. Okay, jeez, I get the picture. Grabs an armload of bottles from the cart, pulls the shower curtain over his head, and staggers out the door. Good. Yeah, and they even give you the option to put a gun in, which I didn't take. Okay, that's just bizarre. There's a big red button on this thing. Nothing happens. Where the bowling balls would come out if this thing was working. Bowling stuff is extremely broken. It's not supposed to be flying around, even a little bit. I can probably just attack and be done. Ashes to ashes, pins to pins. This chunk of bowling ball isn't big enough to do anything with other than throw it at something. This item is used in combat, and it's damage equal to muscle, which that's my class, so that could be pretty scary. Oh, good. The XR85 was complete trash. And pressing it causes more weird haunted pins. Never mind. I have to go back down to the second floor for the guest rooms. Kind of. Found you an eye. Okay, thank you very much. She takes a glass eye from you and puts it in, whereupon it falls through her and onto the floor. She dusts as she picks up. Oh dear, it's a little too physical. Yeah, I was certain that would work. Don't worry, this is easily fixed. Do you have a hammer I can borrow? Hammer? Yes. Do nicely, thank you. She takes the hammer, places the glass eye on her desk, and smashes it with a precise crack. Ah, perfect. Gives you back the hammer and plucks the ghost of the glass eye from the shattered fragments. Blowing the dust off it, she tucks it in her eye socket. That fits much better. Still look a little off there. Does it work? Well, now that you mention it, no, I can't actually see with it. It is the ghost of a glass eye, after all. Oh dear, this won't do it all. What a shame. You know, I don't really understand why your eye is missing. What do you mean? Well, I always assumed that when someone loses an arm or something, it just sticks around as an arm ghost. That's what people say when they get feeling itching sometimes, because you've still got an arm there, but it's a ghost. It's even called phantom limb syndrome. So logically, the rest of you becomes a ghost after that, would hook right back up. Then where'd my eye go? You got pushed back inside your head? The ghost thinks about this for a second, then shakes her head. No, seems... Wait. What? I do think I felt something like this. She shakes her head again. Oh, goodness gracious. Keep going. It's like one of those puzzles where if you try to get the marble in the hole. She bends her head forward and continues shaking it. You almost hear a faint rattling sound and then a plop. She straightens back up, blinking with two eyes. You did it! Fly be. Thank you so much, dear. I never would have thought of that. No problem. Have a nice time in heaven or whatever. That's that, then. How are we doing? There are 5 ghosts left on the premises. More precisely, there are none left on the first floor, 2 left on the second, and 3 on the third. Thanks. Who's left on the second? Okay, I have to... Oh, we'll just install this. This is a good place to set things up. Don't want to do it where you live. examine it. Wait a second. What if you stuck this in one of the cigars you found? What if that? With you poke a hole in the tip of the cigar and set it to dynamite. Hilarious. Okay. This means I should be able to go to guest room 4. I think this is what you're looking for. That's exploding cigar? Yep. Sometimes a cigar is just a cigar, but not this one. What do you use for explosives? I found a really small firecracker, just big enough to blow a cigar without also blowing up someone's face. Also found the, violent lead projectile. You're a genius. Please let me see it in action so I can finally rest. Light it up. Awesome. Now, if I'm right, there's one left here. Let me figure out where it is so I can see if I can do something. There's nobody in the gallery because we dealt with that. No, Pants Guy was a guy I accidentally killed because I talked to him again and the only option was to beat him up. Oh, it's the librarian. I was wondering how you died. I wonder if you died so much personal. I was caught in the crossfire in a library shootout. Wow, what happened? There, ruffians got into a heated argument over the competitive merits of Anton Chekhov versus Henrik Isbin. And when they started shooting, I attempted to step in and stop them. Simply won't abide gunfire in my library. It's far too loud. That's your only objection? The noise? It's quite sufficient. I won't tolerate noise of any stripe, and certainly not gunfire. Isbin versus Chekhov, huh? What was their point of contention? Don't recall the particulars. I just remember Chekhov and shouting, "Remember this gun I showed you in Act 1?" Before opening fire. He had a Chekhov's gun. The noise was dreadful. I'll see what I can do. This is just showing that. Oh, yeah, okay. Where do I go for that? That should be the basement, right? Or do I just use a can? I think that's the basement I go down to. Actually, I have stench resistance, so I should be able to... No. Is that something I needed it for? I guess not. No, the exit is here. Not this. Where was that darn thing? Was it this room? Yeah, okay. You've done enough damage here. Out of the tin can, you got some stuffing of the appropriate density. Make a silencer. Drill a hole in each end of the can and carefully remove the beans. Then you soak the stuffing in a vat of acoustic dampening chemicals and carefully jam in the can. Voila! Now I should be able to go back up to the second floor. Oh, that's where the room was. Hey, look, I invented this. Shh, how many times do I have to tell you? I invented things that make guns really quiet. Oh, how marvelous. Finally I can rest in peace knowing that libraries will not be safe from the noise of gunfire. It's only in an atmosphere of quiet that true joy dare live. Tanned Russell. And with that, she dissipates into nothingness. He isn't famous yet. Well, whatever. 2 ghosts. I beat up the pants guy and I killed the poached eggs guy. To be fair, it would have been just the poached egg if the pants thing didn't rope me into a fight. Okay, so there's 3 things left on the 3rd floor. Let's go look around. Mr. Gunn? So, maybe if I fight these things some more? Something in me says get 4 chunks. Doesn't look like it does anything interesting. The museum employee has drunk a lot of this cart's content, but there's still a few bottles left. This is just the head of the teddy bear. They didn't even remove the tag. Okay, I can grab a cue. Launch into a game. Well, you're cue and a ghost nods and rack the balls. He utterly challenges you. You just can't seem to make the balls go where you intend. This was as saddest showing as I've ever seen. Let me see that cue. Yeah, that's your problem. The thing's about as straight as a banker's handshake. What? Do I need to lay this fact true if you want a chance against me? Lathe, huh? This is both the biggest and dumbest poster you've ever seen. Eye triangle billiards. Music room, music room. Is there anything in the music room still? Oh, I didn't talk to this guy. This is the ghost of an orchestra conductor, unless he's a ghost of someone pretending to be an orchestra conductor. Either way, he's very agitated and about something, or he's conducting a play at the Bumblebee. Sorry to interrupt, but I can't actually hear the music. What are you conducting? It's the finale of the year 1812 Solomon Overture by Tchaikovsky. Oh, the 1812 Overture. Sure, that would have been my second guess. Or is your orchestra like double ghosts or something? What? Ah, I see. No, there is no orchestra. I merely have this piece of music irrevocably lodged in my head. It's been nagging at me incessantly ever since my death. Ask about that? This is just a guess, but did you die during a performance of the 1812 Overture? That is correct. Yes, very astute of you. And the finale of that piece features real actual cannons, right? Is that how you died? If it was my fate to be slain by a piece of music, cannons would have been far preferable to my utterly farcical demise. What happened? The overture requires several cannons because it is impossible to load a single cannon quickly enough to fire as the score demands. However, the stage you were performing on could not have borne the weight. What'd you do? I was not informed of the difficulty until it was far too late to make any changes. It transpired that the stage manufacturer decided it would be sufficient to give a box of bullets to the tuba player. You were shot by a tuba? I was shot, as you say, by a tuba. Oh, no wonder you ended up as a ghost. Oh, it isn't the ridiculousness of my death that troubles me. Really, accidents happen, as with any of the performing arts. A colleague of mine was decapitated by an errant cymbal during a performance of Nini's Violin Concerto No. 1. Such are the risks we take for our art. Gosh. The problem is that the 1812 Overture's finale is a very dramatic and energetic piece. With the music constantly replaying itself in my head, I have been utterly unable to find any peace. I'll see if I can think of a way to help. Say something. The only sheet music you have is blank. What do you think you are, Junk Cage? The cricket, this hurdy-gurdy is neither hurting nor girding. There's 3 ghosts left. There's the billiards guy, but we have to figure out how to lave this queue we have. There's the dude in the music room. There's nothing of intense interest in here, probably. Probably? Yeah, well, there might be a portal to a magic fantasy realm in the back or something. I mean, you never know. Search it. Well, you don't find any magical portals. Darn. But you do find a diary. You flip through it, but there's nothing of particular interest except an entry about how the author was excited to leave for a sleepaway camp the next day with her sisters. Now she was thankful that someone called Uncle Chet for getting the tickets, since it was gloomy around the manor ever since her father went missing. That's the last entry. You know what? Let's just check real quick if I turn it off. Yank the deal away from the cylinder and hide the handle away. Nothing showed up, so... Sunflower was enchanted to not need natural light, so now it's an unflower. I'm going to go out on a limb that says the last ghost is Miss Gunn here. Exterminate all the ghosts, 3 of them left, according to scanners. We're still working on it, ma'am. Don't worry, you can count on us. Alright, please let me know when you're finished. You, ma'am. I guess we can go back to the cellar. So, where would I need to go? Like, at least if I know where I need to go for this stuff. Because, yeah, help would be good. It's almost the end of the stream and it would be in the carriage place. Yeah, that makes sense. I'd like to see if I can finish the DLC before end time and then we can go back to the main game next week. Oh yeah, here we are. So hey, maybe you can make that billiard cue less wobbly. It's now balanced. Okay, now we go up to the 3rd floor and we'll see if we can handle that. Go to the third floor. Challenge him to a game. You pull out your cue and a ghost unracks the ball. He proceeds to crush you. Something feels wrong, like your cue isn't connected with the ball properly. Ghost shakes his head. Yes. You're totally new at this, ain't you? You gotta chalk your cue. Chalk? Can I borrow yours? Mine's ghost chalk. Wouldn't work. Dang it. Yeah, hint for the music ghost, and now I gotta find chalk somewhere. So excuse me, water time. And I'm going to open up for hints because I have the sense we're near the end, and if possible, I'd like to finish this DLC tonight. Excuse me. Music ghost, I can tell you where to go. So yeah, go ahead and let me know where to go. Children's area. Okay, kids' room. Oh, creepy music, right. Not you. Transcribe the music. Spooky lullaby sheet music. I go to the music room and I should be able to play this. Oh, yeah, okay, I remember where that is now. Kinda. Kids area again. Well, now, that was nice. Soothing. Okay, back to kids' room. Take the chalk. No, I think it was the far right room I want to go into. Okay. Challenge him to a game. Chalk up your cue and the ghost racks the balls. It's a close match. You have to consult the geometry book a few times just to work out all the angles. Oh, good thing I had that. The game comes down to a fight for the 8-ball, and you manage to barely squeak out the win when the ghost catches an unlucky bounce off the corner of a pocket. Well, shucks. Nice shooting, Tex. He flips you a finger gun salute, winks, and fades into nothingness. Hooray. Oh. The balls are still now. Grab one. Huh. Apply 10 poison to enemy, but you start every fight poisoned. So I guess we check and see if my guess is right. Alright, whatever. I do feel significantly less haunted. Did you get rid of all the ghosts? We sure did, ma'am. Actually, my scanner says there's still one. Shh! Yes, ma'am. All ghosts accounted for. Well, that's splendid. Come right in. And then we find out she's the last ghost. Yep. Hello, Miss Gunn? Hello, Larry, was it? Thank you so much for getting rid of all those ghosts for me. Yeah, about that, turns out there's one left. Oh dear. Well, you need to take care of that before I can pay you. Miss Gunn, I've got some bad news for you. Oh, what's that? It's you. You're the ghost, ma'am. Well, I'll be. When did this happen, I wonder? My condolences. Thank you, you're very kind. You know, this does explain some things. Like what? Well, I haven't had any appetite for months, nearly a year in fact. They keep sending food up from the kitchen into the dumbwaiter, but I've just been dropping it out the window and... Well, that would explain the trash thing outside. And sending the empty plates back so the chef wouldn't have her feelings hurt. There's also the fact that you're, well, translucent. Yes, I thought it was just cataracts. Miss Gunn, this prompts a question, you know. Oh, what's that? What do you want on your tombstone? Awesome. Why are you a ghost? Well, I'm not sure I know. You're the expert. Perhaps you can tell me. Actually, that's me. I'm the expert. Do you have some kind of unfinished business when it's tying you to this place? Well, you mentioned it. Yes, I suppose I do. Do you mind telling me about it? My entire family disappeared a few years ago. My husband and 3 daughters. Oh yeah, I heard about that. Sorry for your loss. Sheriffs expected they'd be kidnapped for ransom, but no one ever made any demands. They just vanished. Never found out what happened. I always thought they were taken away by ghosts. Why do you think that? I always felt guilty about how many people have been killed by my invention. The belt buckle? The gun. Oh, right. I used to worry that their ghosts would come back to haunt me when I built this house. I had an electrical anti-ghost field installed in the walls of this room so they couldn't get in. No way, awesome. Wait, doesn't it affect you? Well, I'm sure it would if I attempted to walk through the wall, but it never occurred to me to try. Aha. After Dane and the girls disappeared, I became so sure that ghosts had gotten them that I locked myself in here. After donating the rest of the house to the Historical Society so that there'd be something to look after the place, now I feel rather silly about the whole thing. Silly? I mean, ghosts do exist, obviously. Well, yes, but now that I'm a ghost myself, I can sense the presence of other ghosts, and they only just arrived in the house yesterday, or a day before. That was when I called for an exterminator, you know. Didn't even question how I knew they were there, but I didn't think there have been any ghosts here before then. Why'd they all show up yesterday? Couldn't say. They all seemed very angry and confused. Since they couldn't get in here, they gave up and just started wandering around the house. Gave up quite easily, actually. Maybe because you were actually ghosts yourself? Well, Miss Gunn, what are we going to do with you? What do you mean? You did a contract for 13 ghosts, ma'am. You're the 13th. Oh yes, obviously, I could simply negotiate the number with you, but perhaps you should go ahead and exercise me or whatever you do. I'd rather find a more peaceful solution. Solution? What do you mean? Well, we can also release you from your ghostitude by solving the problem that's keeping you here. In your case, I guess that means finding out what happened to your family. Well, I would be very grateful if you could. I assume they're dead, and to be honest, I've gotten used to the fact, but I sure would like to know what actually happened. Alright, I'll see what I can do. I probably just made my life a lot worse. Look in the mirror. A long hard look at yourself in the mirror and think about things you've done. All those things are pretty cool. Actually, wait. I was going to do library, but then I realized. Oh, okay, I'll go double check it. I was going to go check with the info guy, but sure, let's look around there a bit more. Oh, right, the attic. In case of attic, break it. Attic opening stick. Then it's Mr. Gunn's room. Far right. Where they said, hey, attic, but you can't reach it. Open it. Up we go. What the hell? Dresser is now dressed as a ghost. Boxes of old hats. Their old hat. Just more boxes and covered up furniture back there. Hey, who the heck are you? I'm Larry Scott, but since I'm not a guy who's apparently hiding out in Mrs. Gunn's attic, I feel like you ought to be the one answering that question. Or am I? Well, that's just friggin' typical. I'm Chet Bullet, damn it. Am I supposed to have heard that name before? As you damn well should have. Mrs. Gunn's invention would have been nothing without me. Well, let me guess. You invented the bullet? Phew, I thought for sure you were going to say belt buckle again. Oh, shoot, now I want to change my guess. Damn right I invented the bullet, but I was her assistant, so did I get any credit? Hell no. Okay, well, maybe... Okay, well, maybe I feel like talking to you later. Sounds like you've got an axe to grind. Not for much longer. Oh, jeez. Yeah, looks like we found a bad guy. Okay, check. Go ahead and tell us the details of your whole nefarious plan. I don't care much for your tone. Why should I tell you anything? Well, I could just punch you in the face till it starts talking of its own accord. How about that? Well, it's too late for you to stop me anyway, so I suppose it wouldn't hurt to tell you. Certainly not as much as not telling me would. When Mrs. Gunn dies, control of the company and the patents passes to me. I'm no murderer, mind you. I like to keep my hands clean. I figured there might be some other people who'd have a bone to pick with her, considering their manner of death. You summoned all these ghosts? That's right. All it took was some basic seance equipment, wired up the house's belfry for amplification, a snap for a mechanical genius like me. Seance gear summons ghosts related to the summoner. It's the whole point of a medium, a person who knows how to direct summoning on someone else's behalf. So you get to talk to your own grandma instead of the summoners. You don't seem like the medium type to me. More like a small. But that does explain something I've been wondering about. Well, it doesn't make any sense for all the ghosts here to be hunting Mrs. Gunn because some of them weren't killed by guns, but they were all killed by bullets. Naturally, I anticipated that there'd be a couple of those. That's why I rigged this room with an anti-ghost field, which I cleverly boosted so that the ghosts couldn't even sense me up here. So your plan was to summon a bunch of angry ghosts who would initially be looking for you, but hunt Mrs. Gunn instead when they couldn't find you? Correct, and once they've haunted her to death, Gun Industries would be all mine. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but Mrs. Gunn is dead. On the bright side, she's been dead for years, so you pretty much wasted your time. What? Really? I'm rich. Now I just need to get out of here without all those ghosts spotting me. Yeah, the ghosts are gone too, so you're pretty much in the clear. Wonderful. The anti-ghost field is pretty effective, but it was starting to make the back part of my brain itch. He flips a switch on the electrical device and you suddenly become aware of the absence of an extremely low-frequency hum right on the edge of your hearing. Something else I want to ask you about. Ask away. What happened to Miss Gunn's family? Oh, them? They've been out of the picture for years. I heard a rumor Dan got killed by desperados and buried in a shallow grave out in the backside of nowhere. Of course, I wouldn't actually know anything about that. Lucky for me, since I couldn't have inherited the company with him around or their daughters. You son of a... Relax, the girls are fine. I'm not a monster. Pretty sure you're a monster. There's a weird little island kingdom somewhere on the other side of the ocean. Apparently it's stuck in some kind of bizarre temporal field that keeps nearly everyone from entering or leaving. Can't even find a place if you don't know how. Fortunately, I know a guy who knows how, so I gave the girls free tickets to sleepaway camp. Wasn't that nice of me? You're an absolute bastard. Oh, that hurts my feelings. Fortunately, I'm about to have a whole lot of money to console myself with. Why, you... Hold on. We should talk to Mrs. Gunn first before you tear this ass a new hole. Huh, thought her sister was dead. Depending on what she says, you might be too. So now we go down, and we can go back to Miss Gunn. Wait, wrong way. Yeah, I have good news and bad news. Go on, I'm ready. Chet Bullitt had your husband killed and your daughter's kidnapped, so he's been the sole inheritor of your company. So he'd be the sole inheritor of your company when you died. He's also the reason all the ghosts were here. That son of a... I should have suspected something when he suddenly started being so irradiating back then, and when he wrote off desperados on his expense account. What? I'd write him out of my will, but I suppose it's too late. That's rather galling. What's the good news? He says your daughters are safe. They're just on a magical island somewhere that nobody can get to. It's not exactly comforting, but at this point I'll take it. Plainly, if he wanted to kill them, he'd have just done so. Wait, so to him personally? Yeah. Didn't know you were completely dead, so he's been hiding in your attic for the last couple of days, waiting for ghosts to kill you. What do you want me to do with him? I'll leave it up to you. Not in a state to make any reasoned judgment. In any case, you've answered my question. I can feel myself moving on already. Thank you for the help. With a sad wave, Mrs. Gunn fades from view. It was almost an afterthought. The lock on her desk drawer pops open. Inside, you find a check written out for Cunningham Ghost Annihilation Services, which Flo snags with a ching and a blueprint. This blueprint represents what had been the crowning achievement of Mrs. Gunn's career. She hadn't died before actually getting into production. We have a gun blueprint, and there's gun-making tools downstairs. This door. Make Mrs. Gunn's opus. It's about... Yeah, you follow the direction of Mrs. Gunn's blueprints, and that's the finest gift to the world. Third floor. This year I got business to run. I'm sick of your face. Get out of here. Idly, thanks for help the ghost. Come by the factory sometimes, maybe I'll hook you up with a discount. Actually, stop him. My mind, I'm not done with you yet. I got business to run. Bring you out on a rail if you don't stay put. You know what? It looks like... Hey, real quick, do we have a third option, or is it just let him go or shoot him? To the left past the wall. Oh, yeah, okay. I see. I can see there's something up with that wall, and holy cow, there's some really big bells hanging above you. This house has the biggest bells of them all. It's a box of science stuff. I'm not sure how useful this will be because we just finished everything. But here, have some science junk. Oh, it's XP. One of the new Eldritch vacuum batteries, Magic Tech. I didn't think they were available in this region yet. So she gets a new gun ability, and now... It looks like maybe it operates large bells hanging above you. Give him a ring. Mm-hmm. Well, can you just tell me the frequency? Because we're actually past my end time, and I don't feel like digging through this right now. Oh, wait, no. I just figured it out. It's Boo. I feel like an idiot for not immediately guessing that. Holy cow, I felt a real chill there. Yeah, this is definitely a sound such as you used to summon ghosts. I don't see anyone. I bet that we can sense this ghost. Well, yeah, you're right. I can't do it. I screwed up, which means I shoot you in the face. Oh, wait, I have an idea. I have AoE attacks. Let's put them to work. Okay, I give up. Chet falls to his knees. You decide to let him dangle for a moment while you rifle through his stuff. Hooray! You beat the hell out of Chet Bullet, then hog tie him and drag him down to the visitor center. The employees assure you they'll hand him over to the sheriff of whatever jurisdiction this is. Good. Well, that's it. You reckon you brought some reckoning to Gun Manor. Not the best possible reckoning, mind you, but there's a better way to deal with Chet. Maybe there's a better way to deal with Chet. I mean, there definitely is a better way to deal with Chet. I don't know why I said maybe. Anyway, feel free to poke around the grounds looking for loose ends to wrap up, but you're pretty much done here. Thanks for playing a Reckoning at Gun Manor. Oh, yeah, let's do that real quick. Oh, wait. Shortcut back to the coach. The guy from the bar card is leaning heavily against a display of shot glasses with different names etched on them. Personalized shot glass, 600 meat. The guy picks up a bottle stashed on display and fills the shot glass labeled Ethan. Let's buy a shot glass. Gain XP when you drink booze. Oh, that could be nice. And with that, we're done for the evening, which means it's time to find somebody to raid. Let's see. I should have left my browser open in the background, so I gotta go to Twitch. Following. Oh yeah, I don't even have the stream thing open. Who's doing something interesting? You know what? We got Dot Level playing ActRaiser. That's a pretty good game. Let's see. Can I get you in the raid? Let's go say hi.